I found my mouse. Is OBS gonna work today? Or YouTube, I still don't know what the issue I've been having lately is caused by exactly. I should really submit some bug reports. I actually tried to look up submitting a bug report to OBS, and the problem with open source projects is they're like, no, you gotta post in the forum and hope people see it and try to fix your issue. Yeah, that's great. So, I don't know. I might have just not noticed that there's no like open bug support submitting portal for OBS, but anyways, you're not late. I'm not late too. What a world. Well, I didn't finish my granola bar. I finished one of them. I normally eat two. I have like a Nutri-Grain and then something or some generic brand thing. Hello peoples. It's been a while. Well, I mean, I did a stream 2 days ago or whatever on the 4.0 live stream. I can brain. But I never even said a lot of the things I wanted to say there. I think there's more to talk about with 4.0 potentially. Biat. There's also other things I want to talk about because I haven't talked about my vacation at all. And I'm a changed person. No. Well, I mean, I have gained new insights to things that, you know, it was a new experience is all it was for me. Not something I'd ever done before in life. So, I want to talk about it. And probably never talk about it again. No. I'm going to talk about it because it was a fun week and a meaningful week that changed my perspective. Well, I wouldn't say completely changed my perspective, but again, gave me new perspectives. More like, because before I would have said, like, I have no perspective on this thing because I have not experienced it. But now I do have experience on these things, so I can now, like, actually give thoughts on them and, like, have understanding for them. Wow, what a world. This is really pretty sky. Anyways, hello. The bot beat you? How? Yeah, get wrecked, Sylveon. The bot that doesn't do anything because I haven't configured it to do anything. The only thing the bot does is it says it's running constantly. That's all the bot does. Anyways, hello, everybody's. What are we doing? Well, we're talking. That's what this stream is going to be. We're just going to be talking. I'm gonna take a drink of water to clean crap out of my mouth. I mean, Dia is pretty. I meant the sky, but yes. The sky will come up later. It will make people laugh. It made my friends laugh in Vancouver. But anyways. What am I resin at? 151. No. That's what I get for using extra resin yesterday. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I'm leveling up Candace because next week, I've already recorded like half of this video, so this should definitely come out.
I am right by your side. But if you're still nervous, just take my hand.
Thanks, Candace. But if, what was it saying? Oh, the video, the Dia and Candace video, this team here that you're seeing, which you're probably going to see here, so, you know, you wonderful live stream viewers get a preview for next week's video a little bit, for the combat at least. And yeah, if you're on my Discord, I actually mentioned this team actually managed to, I used this team in every single one of the levels in this event at the dire difficulty and was able to clear. So even one where Candace was useless because I was stubborn, it was against the Hydro Mimics, and I was like, no, I am not removing Candace in favor of like someone that makes sense against Hydro Mimics, because, you know, Candace doesn't do anything against Hydro Mimics, but I still cleared it. I still cleared it. 5 fragile resin, I'm kind of broke now. It's just because I used them. Like, I just used them. I used like 2 or 3 of them yesterday to farm a little bit for Candace. Yeah, Candace is now, or Candace, Dia is now double crowned. No, I will not triple crown her because why? There's no reason. I would like my more for the likes of leveling up Candace. So, anyways, we gotta level up Candace today to level 80 at least. The main improvements, honestly, my Candace needs just not these artifacts. It's fine. It functions for what she needs to function for in this team, but she's not doing that meaningful damage, so. Anyways, physical DPS Candace? No, it's not physical DPS Candace. It actually makes use of both of these characters' kits to do damage. Is it better than Xingqiu on the team? I would argue yes, it is better than Xingqiu. Is it better than like Ayato technically? Yeah, Probably not, realistically. But the way it functions is really satisfying in my opinion, and it has like nice. This team has like nice flexibility with swapping characters and whatever. So, you know, I greatly enjoy this team. Anyways, you'll get to see it right here. This boss is not necessarily the ideal boss for this fight, but you know, is what it or for this team is what it is. So the only meaningful problem this team has is what you saw right there, where Kazuha's burst infusion can cause too much pyro application, and in general, I still want to do it. I believe because like it provides a lot of damage. With the butthole. It probably has a lot of damage, right? So can you like see this? But the problem with it is like if it overrides the hydro by stealing a vape or whatever, it means I don't get the vape with Dia, which is not ideal. But you know what? It's fine. But yeah, you can see there like I didn't even use Dia's burst. I can use Dia's burst. Generally, what happens after using it yesterday, is I'd use Dia's burst every other rotation, more often than not. But it depended a little bit. And hey, thank you for the 3 drops game. Let's ascend Candace. Wham, blam. There we go. And we get a wish. What a world. Wishing content for you. Level up. Blam. Level. I was going to say 80. That's 79. Level 80, Candace. Yay. Oh, she's not over 20k HP. It's so annoying. Okay. I do want an HP timepiece on her, but like, because I'm pretty sure with Fav in particular, even solo Hydra, I'm pretty sure 247 ER is well more than enough. I don't have an HP timepiece though on Emblem. So, you know, well, that'll be fixed in hopefully less than 2 weeks' time with the Emblem strongbox. You know, we'll see. I certainly have a lot of garbage to throw in the Emblem strongbox to hopefully fix that issue. Like, look, like really, like look at all this, ridiculous. I got some garbage to throw away. Anyways. What does it keep saying? Message error? I don't know. I see your message, so couldn't tell you. And then what else do I have to do? I have to. Oh yeah, we have a wish. How exciting is this going to be? Actually, wait, no. Wait, should I? No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter because yeah, wow, that was exciting. Reason that doesn't matter is because I want. If there might be new standard banner characters, right, being added to standard banner, but in after 4.0 and whatever, but I still want to use them now because if there's more standard banner characters added to standard banner, then there's less chance I get Dia constellations from standard banner. Len, welcome to my bosses. Welcome back to my bosses. Thanks, Len. Thanks for joining again. Hello, Botter. We're doing good. All right, let's see what I've got for materials here. I think I have a decent, more than a decent amount. Wow, okay. Level up that talent. Blam. Level up that. And okay, burst makes more sense to level to 11 first. Blam. Level 11, wonderful. And only need a few more. Alright then. I could probably get away with doing that today, but I'm going to wait until to do this till tomorrow because there's a talent doubling thingy, right? I think there is at least. Isn't there? Overflowing Mastery, yep. Talent double materials, 8-7, yep, sweet, yep, so there's a talent doubling material thingy. I will wait until then. I was lucky to get a C1 Dia, so I just love using her. Yeah, I want a C1 Dia. But it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Unless, I mean, I could get lucky and get either a Dia on standard banner, but I don't think I'm close to pity at all. So C1 Dia is probably not going to happen anytime soon. And Actually, I'm farther in than I thought I was. 30. Wow. Okay, this is 35. Or yep. No, 30, not 35. Um, farther in opinion than I thought I was. But realistically, it's going to not happen on standard banner. It's going to happen on losing a 50-50. But we'll see. We'll see. I would love to see one Dia. So it would also legitimize using these artifacts on Dia more than just for my stupid team. But I'm going to keep Dia on these artifacts, even though it's a slightly worse build than my emblem build. Just because, one, it frees up emblem artifacts. Two, this is good for both the Dia skill damage, or the skill damage team, and while still having decent burst damage for Dia. So, you know, they do actually work well for my purposes, even though in my opinion they are not worth farming for most people. So, anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, 33k primos. I don't know what I'm gonna. I'm probably gonna have like freaking 40,000+ by the time I next wish on this account. I don't know if I'm even gonna wish on 4.1 characters. Like, I'm probably not gonna go for Rio on this account because he's a polearm character, which means I'm probably gonna get him on polearms only, and I tend not to go for polearm characters on my main account because of that. So it'd have to be really interesting to make me want to do that. And then Nouvellette, I believe, is currently the one rumored to be, or actually, before I talk about 4.1 rumors, 4.0. So 4.0, there's Lynette, of course, for 5 stars. Elan, I certainly don't need any Elan constellations. And then there's Zhongli and Child. And annoyingly, Freminette is on, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name. I didn't pay that much attention to the stream, my bad. Freminette is on Zhongli's and Child's banner. I currently have a guarantee from when I lost my 50-50 to Dia last time, so I really don't want a Zhongli on this account. I have no desire for it. I also have like anti-desire for Child, so unfortunately I think I might have to skip Freminette, which is unfortunate. I'm skipping Lynette as well because I just don't think I would enjoy his charge attack playstyle that much. I know that I got bored of Ganyu's charge attack playstyle, and I can't imagine a character and particularly my problem with Lynette is like he's made to work in mono pyro, and like if I use him in mono, you don't have to use him in mono pyro to be clear, right? They didn't force you to use him in mono pyro, but he definitely is meant to work in mono pyro. And like, okay, if I'm using him as he's meant to, it basically means slotting him in mono pyro. It'd be basically this team, but you know, Xiangling instead of Candace, of course. And then Lynette is the obvious replacement is replace Dia with Lynette. And I know some people will be like, well, Lynette works with Dia because Dia gives like interruption resistance, but like it's yes, but Dia has like terrible uptime. Like she has a freaking 20-second cooldown on her skill, and it only lasts like 12 seconds, I think, without C2. So like, yay, you have 50% downtime on your damage mitigation and interruption resistance for Lynette, and it's also not so no. Anyways, if I was going to get Lynette, I would play him without a shielder, even though I know many people would be like, no, you gotta play with the shielder because interruptions. Like, I can handle not having interruption resistance. I've handled not having that forever. Anyways, so 4.0 patches, the characters look kind of fun. Honestly, the character I would like the most is, and this is the only real temptation. What am I doing, by the way? Let's go do dailies. I'm doing literally nothing. The main character that I am actually interested in 4.0 is Lynette. In particular, this isn't like a very good reason to go for her. I want to be very clear, and this is why I'm not going to. If I didn't have a guarantee, I probably would. But because I do have a guarantee, this is not the daily. I just killed these dudes because I felt like killing them. Hello, sir. This annoying commission. If I didn't have a guarantee, I would consider doing it, particularly for Lynette constellations. Lynette constellations aren't that amazing. They're good. They improve her utility a bit, but they don't seem like strictly necessary to be like, oh my god, they changed her. But her C6 does apparently do an Anemo infusion, just like Kazuha does an Anemo infusion, right? But C6 Kazuha is substantially less attainable than a C6 4-star, right? So, And the whole thing with that, Kazuha would be a better like Animo carry unit as far as like C6 infusion goes. So the point wouldn't be necessarily like, oh, Animo DPS carry, let's go hyper carry Lynette. That would not be the point. Kazuha is better at that because his C6 gives him like even more EM scaling on his normal charge plunging damage, which especially in conjunction with something like Light of Foliar, gives him a stupid amount of like damage value out of EM stats. So like C6 Kazuha makes more sense to do a carry. The point isn't doing a carry with Lynette, but Lynette does, because of the fact that she infuses her sword with Animo, with C6. You can also use other characters like C6 Bennett, which does a pyro infusion, to also infuse pyro on your melee weapons at the same time, on your Lynette at the same time, which means she can self-swirl off of her, which means you trigger swirl off of her sword, essentially. So self-swirling off of her sword is really weird and interesting, and I kind of want it just for that. Is it relevant enough to go for? No, not risking a guarantee, unfortunately. If I didn't have a guarantee, I absolutely would try, because it's really interesting to just have that as an option to mess with. Fundamentally, it's not that different mechanically from like what happens with Sunfire, where you use Gene's Burst. It applies Animo to your own character, not to your weapon, but to your character, and then Bennett's Burst applies Pyro to your active character. So that's the Sunfire combo, and it constantly swirls Pyro. But it's only specifically that combination. Potential for an infusion means you can do that with, you can do it with Hydro infusions. You could do Hydro swirls from Lynette's C6 infusion. You could do Pyro swirls, of course, and you could do Cryo swirls with Chongyun. And if they ever do an external Electro infuser, you could also do those swirls too, Electro swirls. So, and Electro swirls in particular would be actually pretty interesting because, but you can do the Electro swirl thing theoretically, I think, with Dory. So you could do some weird like C6 Lynette plus Dory team, where Dory, I think Dory's burst has to be active though, where Dory will apply Electro to your character. Or no, that's not going to work because no, never mind. With Lynette, it's not going to work because it has to be on the sword, which means it has to be an infusion. So never mind. There had to be an Electro infuser. I'm just rambling. It had to be an Electro infuser, which doesn't exist. But anyways, it'd be fun to have. That's the point. I don't think I can justify going for it because. What did that dude F off over there? I just don't think I can justify going for it. Is all it comes down to. Really? Blam. But we'll see. We'll see. Lynette, or yeah, and as far as banners, like rumored for 4.1, we have Real Fizzly rumored, of course. It was rumored to be a polearm, which is interesting. For my polearm account, go figure. Who knew? Ready? Go over here, I suppose. And then, yes, we do get a free Lynette, which is nice. Although they definitely are just doing that to. I'll talk about the Ogia and Newman mechanic a little bit. The long and short is I don't understand what the potential value they're trying to offer with the Ogia and Newman mechanic. Like them introducing new like alignment additional abilities to characters' attacks is not necessarily inherently a bad thing. It depends what they do with it, and it depends what it interacts with. But the way they have shown it makes me worried that it's just a really dumb feature to make you pull for 4.0 characters. I guess I said I was going to talk about it later, but I'm talking about it now. So, you know what? Oh well. I swirled Hydro, whatever. There we go. Yeah, anyways, Ogia and Numa. I'll go talk about 4.1 characters again in a second. Ogia and Numa, just like really I don't know. I'm trying to watch chat. If anyone has like thoughts on what beneficial aspects could come from Ogia and Numa, and it not just being, you know, something they're putting in the game because they want to force people to pull and use 4.0 plus characters in the Abyss. Because that's really all it feels like to me. And I don't know if I'm just not thinking about it right because biases and whatnot. So, how do I feel about the state of the game right now? I mean, I kind of talked about it in the start of my 4.0 live stream if you want to check. But basically, I think they really need to... But one of the best things that keeps my attention in this game is the combat system. It's what keeps me interested in, like, wanting to pull for new characters, just trying new things, and, like, using characters like Dia, and, you know, oh, Dia and Candace C6 annoyingly just, like, don't work together. Well, screw you, Mihoyo. I'm gonna freaking make it work. That's basically what my video next week is gonna be. And I love doing things like that. I love messing around with the combat system. I love that the game gives you the freedom, and we have the ability to do things like that. And more things being added to the game to give more freedom to have fun with is good. But then, of course, you think about it in the context of, like, okay, in what context does, like, doing this matter? Well, because, like, yeah, Dia and Candace can work perfectly well together in Overworld. Like, duh. But how well does it work in Abyss? I don't know. I haven't actually tried this team in Abyss yet. And the answer is it depends on the Abyss, because the combat meta of Genshin shifts based on the cycle of the Abyss. It depends on what's running this current, like, few week cycles. And that's annoying and not fun. So, in my opinion, it's not a fun way to drive engagement. I don't mind it. Like, I have fun with Spiral Abyss sometimes, to be clear. I don't think it's necessarily a bad mode inherently. But it's a bad mode, but it's, like, the only thing where that ever matter outside of, like, rare events, right, that have difficult combat options, like this event, which there's not many times that they release combat events that are this difficult, or have this difficult an option. Like, I swear to God, it's like once a year, like, or maybe twice a year, probably. It seems like they really don't want to even release the option. Like, I really like when they have events like this and they chose to make a dire difficulty, and it gives you nothing for rewards. It's just you do it for pure satisfaction, right? Outside of rare temporary available things like that, there's nothing in the game that actually gives you a reason to, like, farm for artifacts long term, that gives you a reason to try to, like, hyper invest and optimize stupid jank teams or and whatever. Like, so many players are just like I always wonder, like, okay, how many players log in this freaking game every day and farm artifacts every single day, but then they don't play Abyss because they don't find it fun? Because, like, I don't understand why you would do that. Because there's, like, no reason. You very quickly hit a point where, like, your artifacts don't really matter in any meaningful way for playing this game. So the only reason you're farming for artifacts, if you don't like heavily investing in artifacts long term, is for bragging purposes if you're not using them in Abyss. Because better artifacts are nice for Abyss in the context of most notably making teams that are worse for certain situations in the Abyss have a better chance at clearing things in Abyss. But it's also still, like, you pretty quickly reach a point. Like, I'm not going to farm anymore. Like, is there improvements my Dia could be made with, could have on these artifacts? Yes. Like, I would love to have a feather that is double crit. Like, not having crit rate on the feather. If I ever go back to that domain, it's going to be specifically because I don't like the fact that I have 65% crit rate on Dia, right? So, like, yeah, I would love to just, you know, replace this attack percent with crit rate on this feather, and then, you know, we're perfect, right? But farming for that is just, like, it's such a minor improvement that it just barely matters, right? So, anyways, it's just, yeah, as far as the state of the game goes, it's a live service game, and they're continually, you know, adding things. I don't know. Genshin's in a weird state. Like, I do think Genshin is a better experience, like, as it adds content, rather than, like, something like Star Rail. The feel I got from Star Rail is, like that Star Rail will be better experience after, like, 3 years from now, when you can just, like, blaze through the story, and, like, almost all the story is, like, well, or probably not all the story, but anyways, what am I doing? Let's, you know what, let's go for a lark and hope for, let's go farm Emblem. We're gonna hope for Emblem giving us our HP time base we need for Candace. Double crit ER. Let's go, game. Please. There we go. So yeah, like Genshin's in a weird state where like it does feel like this is not necessarily a bad thing, right? For it being a live service game. This being a live service game where they're constantly adding new areas and lots of crap to do. Like the size of this game, if you envision playing it like once all the regions are added and whatever else they add after they add all the main regions, right? Like this game's gonna be freaking ginormous. It's already ginormous. And like when I started playing a year and a half ago, it was this area. The chasm wasn't even added, and then Inazuma and then Enkanomiya was added the patch I started playing. And you know, then they added the chasm. They added, of course, Sumeru and all the shite over here. I've barely done any of this because I've been busy with other account BS. Then of course now they're going to be adding Fontaine, and like, it's an intimidatingly large game, and there's also the problem of like, the more characters they add, the more intimidating I think it is to play this game later, because like, there's just choice overload, I think. So it's weird. Like I don't think the new player experience for Genshin is very good, to say the least. And as far as like progression systems go for like motivating players to keep on playing, I feel like because of the fact that they don't have to tie back into like Spiral Abyss and whatever, because they don't have like a permanently available, like consistently fun mode, like God, I would just love something that's like a simulated universe, a roguelite-esque mode in Genshin would be super fun. And it doesn't even have to give that meaningful of rewards necessarily. It would just be fun. to do. And there's also like things they could do, like I don't know, they could add some kind of like infinite waves thing to like just have I'm not thinking about how I'm using my characters, whatever. Blam. Oh, he didn't die. There we go. I'm not, like, I don't know. I just want to see them do more than the same thing over and over. It's kind of all it comes down to. Weird. Oh, game, no. Oh, that's cruel. Okay, the reason that's cruel. If this rolls double crit, man. If this rolls double crit, I'm gonna be a sad, sad boy, because that is that could be my dream goblet that I want on polearms only. Oh. I came in here wanting an HP timepiece, and the game might give me the rarest piece that I could possibly get. A double crit EM goblet that I want on my polearm account. No, don't troll me like this game. Oh. I'll still take it, to be clear. I might find a use for that goblet, but also... Oh no. That's why I don't like... Oh god. It's just... Oh god, okay. Anyways. Polearms only still exist? Yeah, I just... What... Tell me what fucking videos I can make on polearms only when nobody fucking watches Abyss stuff. Like, I've done Abyss streams for polearms only. I did one when they did the news cycle, right? I've done Abyss streams for polearms only, but like, what other than Abyss stuff is there to make in polearms only if they're not releasing polearm characters? Breadman, like that's what, like, yes, polearms only still exists. So anyway, I have a video that I have kind of, it's in the backlog a little bit. I should probably try to put it out before. Okay, I mean, I guess the alternative, that's funny. The alternative to a the alternative to an HP timepiece is an onset goblet, but I wasn't expecting an onset goblet, to say the least. The current goblet I have on her is like fine, so I guess we'll take that. Yeah. what the frick, man? I don't get an EM crit goblet. Oh my god. Okay. I don't have much fodder though, because like I've been farming for like Dia talent materials and crap, so I don't have fodder to level up these artifacts. Anyways, alright, let's no, don't do that. How can you animation cancel Candace, or sorry, Dia's burst? You can just jump. They intentionally did that. Okay, it didn't troll me, it's fine. I've not been trolled. Thank you, game. I mean, I'm just keeping this goblet, just not leveling up right now. Thank you, game. I appreciate not making me feel devastated that I got an EM double crit goblet on this account before my polearm account. I've spent so much more resin on emblem in my polearm account than this account that I would have cried if I got an EM double crit goblet on this account with ER, notably. Like the ER is actually in some ways more important than having double crit for polearms only, because to make hybrid riding work properly. But anyways, where's the other one? Where's the hydro goblet? Hydro damage bonus. Alright, let's go. I mean, even if this doesn't roll a good line, it's probably still what I'm going to use on Candace. So, let's see though. Have you animation canceled the burst? Can you animation cancel Kazuha's burst? Did I? I don't remember what I did. I didn't even do it on purpose. Oh well. That's a good last line. Alright, what is our current goblet? Let's see. What are my hydro goblets in general, actually? Should I just throw my existing piece in the trash is my question. It says 2 lines of crit rate, 1 line of ER, 1 flat HP. It's actually not bad. But it's not so good that I can't just throw it in. So, no, we're keeping that. Toma has this as a placeholder, because I have the ability to do 4-piece Nim stream on Candace too. So in the Candace Dia video, I'm probably going to try 4-piece Nim stream on Candace, and it's probably going to be just bad. Alright. Alright, please don't punish me, game. I would appreciate not being punished for this. But it's an onset goblet regardless, so... Yeah! I didn't get punished! I got the same goblet back, but now it's onset. I mean, a little bit lower roll value. Like, it was 10.1 crit rate and like 11 ER versus 9.3 and 9.7, but like, it doesn't freaking matter. Let's go. Well, just like that, suddenly now I can use an I can use an HP timepiece of Candace. I did not expect to solve that problem today on Candace. Like, I thought this was definitely going to wait until... Hey, another ER roll. That's actually awesome, especially because I might need a couple extra ER rolls if I'm switching to an HP timepiece on her. I definitely did not expect to fix my Candace's build today. I thought that was not going to happen until 4.0 with strongbox in Emblem. What do I got for HP timepieces? Alright, 10.1, 13.2, and a couple sad defense rolls. I would really like one with ER. I mean, that has ER, but not much ER. Okay, that's pretty good. It's the same thing, but no ER. This has crit and ER. Okay. And that could be okay if it rolled well. Okay. And I'm not going to take Yolon's artifacts. Alright, I guess this piece. And then I just got to make sure I'm on like my ER heavy pieces. I still need a good bit of ER on Candace, to be very clear. With this build. And alright, you know what, I'm gonna steal just for right, I think Shangli has my best emblem circlet. Yeah, she has this one. Am I losing? Alright, I'm losing. It's not even that much of an upgrade, honestly, to switch to this one. I'm gonna put this one on her though, because like 2 dead stats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead stats basically for Candace. Like, yes, the crit looks nice, this looks like a nice circlet, but for someone like Candace, right, this has 5 dead stats, and it has 3 high crit rolls, which is nice. This has 1 crit roll, 2 HP percent rolls, 2 flat HP, which I'd say is equivalent to another HP percent. So I count this as like 1 dead stat functionally, because it would have been better for it to be HP percent. And then the EM does something as well. So even though this one's not heavy in crit, I think this is genuinely a better circlet than this one for Candace. It just doesn't look as nice. So anyways, to make it look as good as possible, let's put on that artifact. And now she's over 20k HP. Nice. 6. Oh, look, it's beautiful. Perfect. Look how much I couldn't make it any better. This is like the 3rd time I've accidentally put 69% crit rate on a character. Yes, I know Emblem is in the strongbox in 4.0, but I don't have Emblem on the strongbox right now. And now I somehow fix Candace without having to do that. Alright, getting Candace any better than that would be hard, honestly. So anyway, I'm going to switch back to what I'd probably like more than anything. I would like, my dream circlet for Candace would be, this, but, 2 lines of ER probably. And HP percent, of course. Yeah, replace this flat HP with ER, and then this is basically a perfect circlet for Candace. I think I'm going to keep this, though, because, yeah, less crit damage, but the EM still does have value, like Candace. Also, 22,220 HP. Beautiful. This build on Candace, yes, less crit damage, but has more HP, which increases her damage, and has EM, and she is doing a meaningful amount of reactions in this team, such that EM is not irrelevant. Ideally, if I'm playing things right, she is not necessarily one triggering them, but depending on how I'm swapping my characters and whatever, like I said, it's fairly freeform. It's often that Candace gets vaporizes of her own, so you get the point. Yeah, alright. That was unexpected. Just, yeah. Happy with that. I gotta test Candace now a little bit to see if I still have enough ER. I also... Oh, I just realized... She's not level 90 yet, but when I ascend her past level 80, she's gonna lose her 22,220 HP. That's sad. Now I'm never gonna ascend her again. No. Well, okay. I'm going to ascend Candace more, but part of me really wants to just not ascend Candace anymore, just to stick with 22k HP. 22,220. I mean, I think I will still do it. If it was 22,222, I probably would have not, would have chosen to not ascend Candace anymore, just to keep her at 22,222. But because it's 22,220, I will still, because Candace deserves it. I intend to crown Candace too eventually, but my resources are already low, and you know I might need those resources for 4.0 plus characters, so that might be a while. Anyways, she's fine as long as she keeps that beautiful crit rate. Yeah, indeed. One thing I could consider doing. I need to level up. I definitely should level Favlands. Well, especially when I can do it for free. This is just for the tiny little bit extra ER. It's not super important. The reason that apparently I just have all the materials. It wasn't super important to level Favlands because Candace doesn't care about base attack really. So the leveling the Favlands is just for the ER stat. So I can gain, you know, like 2 more ER rolls, 3 more ER rolls, probably only 2 because I think it goes to like 27% or something at level 90. So it's not the most meaningful difference, but it makes sense to do. If I want to maximize her damage, it definitely would make more sense to use the catch instead of Fav. But being that she's solo Hydro, I think it makes more sense to just keep on Fav. It also helps keep other characters' bursts up, so yeah. But I might try the catch instead. We'll see. Hutao's sales are going to skyrocket after Fontaine drops. I feel like Hutao's currently... Oh, I didn't finish talking about 4.1 banner rumors. Hutao, I think, was recently rumored to be in 4.1 as a rerun, which would be a dick move, because the reason being is we're going to know, right, if Hutao's running in 4.1, we're going to know for sure what the Hydro Archon's kit is. And currently, the Hydro Archon... So let me, I think Hutao rerunning in 4.1 makes a lot of strategic sense from them on a business level, but it's also a dick move. And the reason being is because we have this is months old. It could be completely wrong. But being that we've already seen health drain mechanics and like the new artifacts in Fontaine that give you a whack ton of crit rate based on losing health, HP changes, not losing health. It's just when your HP changes, right? Oh, I can't get any more. Oh, okay. Should I just level Fab to 90 today? How many resources is it going to take? Probably not that many. I could probably just... I didn't want to use all my fragile resins for this, but... Let me go check. I gotta go check Ember. Ember.top. I forgot what... You think I would know what Fav Lance has at max level? Being that I use them a lot in Polems only. 30.6 ER, so I can gain like 1 more ER roll going to level 90. I'm just gonna wait for now. I don't think I need to. 213 ER is probably fine. And again, like I'd prefer using the catch honestly on her because 1, it looks fantastic on her. 2, it has a little bit more ER, but I lose the team ER. I mean, actually, okay, functionally this has a lot less energy for Candace because losing the Fab particles is a humongous loss. But I don't know, it looks so good on her, and it increases her burst damage by a meaningful amount. So I kind of really want to, but I don't know. Anyways, weapons. Switch back to Fab for now. Also, the problem is, like, I'd have to get another weapon level up for Xiangling. Oh, I do have this now. Okay. I could level up this for Xiangling and then give Xiangling... Yeah, and then take the catch from Xiangling. Because, yeah, that was part of the reason of using Fab, too, is, like, I didn't want to have to deal with... oh, apparently I had... Oh, whoops. I didn't realize Yunjin had a level 70 Fab already. I probably could have used the resources I had to level 90 the Fab that Yunjin had, and then just give Yunjin, like, the level 50 Fab. That would have been fine. Oops. Oh well. I could have leveled 90 to Fab probably without having to farm anything. Oh well. I started playing in 2.3, the Enkonomia patch. Yeah, anyway, I don't know, whatever. This is just future considerations. For now, just leave it on Fab. Alright. So back to the Hutao thing in like 4.1. The reason I think it makes strategic sense. So there's a rumor about the Hydra Archon. There's the only inkling that we have about her kit at all is that, and I think this makes sense, particularly now that we've seen the new artifacts and health training mechanic themes that they're going with. But basically, the Hydra Archon is apparently going to... I should probably switch to another account, but you know what? I'm going to finish what I'm saying, and then we'll switch to another account. The Hydra Archon is apparently going to... Let's do bounties and requests. Drain your team's health to give a buff. Which I really like that on like a fundamental level. It's simple. You know, it takes a downside, right? It takes something that has a cost to give you a benefit. I think that is a smart mechanic that forces players to play around and build around being able to take advantage of it, but has the potential to be very strong, particularly as an Archon. The buff's probably going to be pretty strong. And on top of that, it enables, right, if the Hydra Archon does that, the new artifacts, right, the new artifacts, that the 2-piece is normal attack, charge attack bonus, and then the 4-piece gives 12% crit rate whenever your HP changes. So if the Hydra Archon drains your team's health, that, you see where I'm going here? Yeah, that seems really strong, because suddenly now we have artifacts that, if you're using the Hydra Archon on a team, artifacts that can give 36% crit rate on any character. That is absurd. Like, that means that any team that is using the Hydra Archon, for a DPS unit that wants the crit rate, of course, that might be their best artifacts, even if they can't take advantage of the 2-piece bonus. Now, Hutao does take advantage of the 2-piece bonus. And Hutao wants to be under 50% health anyways. So, and like one notable thing, right, that if you play Hutao, you probably are aware of this, but Hutao does not spend her first rotation under 50% HP, so she is losing out on like a lot of her damage. And so there's the potential that the Hydra Archon plus Hutao in first rotation could make Hutao have her full buff on the first rotation, and if it drains multiple little ticks from Hutao's health, that also enables using the new artifacts on Hutao. And Hutao has a problem, especially if you have Staff of Homa. Hutao has a problem of she ascends with crit damage, and her signature weapon is crit damage. She needs a whack ton of crit rate substats. But like, that artifact set enables that you might be able to have a crit damage ascending character like Hutao, a crit damage weapon like Staff of Homa, and a crit damage circlet because of the fact that the 4-piece set bonus gives you 36% crit rate. You still need a decent amount of crit rate substats, but like, to get to a functional build on that 4-piece artifact set, right, you could have a crit damage circlet, and then you have the crit rate the artifact set gives you, so you're functionally at a base like 41% crit rate, assuming, again, this is assuming the Hydra Archon works in the way that it's been rumored. It could be completely wrong, but assuming it does, but it makes sense, right? It makes sense to release Hutao and then release the Hydra, have the Hydra Archon in beta when they know people know what the Hydra Archon does. It'll make people pull for Hutao. It might make me pull for Hutao on my main account. And then I think it depends on whether Furin is able to heal you. That is true. Notably, I would be surprised. I would be surprised if they make the Archon kill your team. Like, it probably will take you down to 1 health, is my guess, and it will not kill your team. I'd be surprised that they would do that. I would respect it if they do. Honestly, I would like it more if they would make it so the Hydro Archon could literally kill your team. That would mean you really need to play healers, and that might invalidate this use case with Hutao, because Hutao I don't know. It depends on the balance. The Hydro Archon might open up the potential, because normally you wouldn't play Bennett with Hutao. You can play Bennett with Hutao, but oftentimes you're pushing Hutao over the 50% threshold for HP with Bennett's buff, and you have to stay in the circle, such that the end result is like there's basically no reason to use Bennett with her, because Hutao would get a similar-ish buff by being under 50% HP. If you have C6 Bennett like I do, then it can actually make sense to use C6 Bennett with Hutao, I believe, for the 15% pyro bonus and the attack bonus. But anyways, I digress. Point is, Hutao is like... there might be a circumstance where you use Bennett with Hutao with the Hydro Archon. The Hydro Archon might drain enough in conjunction with Hutao using her own skill and Bennett healing, being balanced out to a degree where you still might be under 50% HP. Like, the Hydro Archon might enable being under 50% HP relatively consistently with Bennett, with Hutao, and that could be insane as well. So, anyways, so with Hutao is just a specific example of, like, the Hydro Archon could enable Hutao to use the new artifact set fully, that suddenly you could have a Hutao that is properly built, that has a good amount of crit rate, because you'd be at base 41% crit rate essentially, with a crit damage circlet, a crit damage weapon, and a crit damage ascending character. Normal, like, that's not normally everything you could ever consider. Like, C6 Hutao people, or the only time you would ever consider putting... Shut up, Bennett. You would ever consider putting a crit damage circlet on Hutao if you have Staff of Homa, or another crit damage weapon. Obviously, if you're running Jade Spear or Deathmatch, duh. But I'm talking about if you're running, like, her signature weapon in particular, which a lot of people that like Hutao do vertically invest in Hutao and try to get Staff of Homa for her. That's part of why I think it's relevant to talk about it like this. I think Hutao is probably one of the characters in the game that a very high percentage of people who like Hutao like her enough that they go for Homa eventually. But I don't know. I don't have actual data on that, to be clear. Just seems like a lot of people do. And anyways, normally it would be unfathomable that you could even consider putting, even with C6 Hutao, right, where she gives like 15% uptime on 100% crit rate, right? Like, outside of going for nukes for Hutao, you don't put a crit damage circlet on Hutao when she's a crit damage ascending character and has a crit damage weapon. Like, just no. Like, this is just nonsense. The stupid new set might enable doing that, and that's ridiculous. Because you'll be at 40% crit rate at base, and then you have 5 artifacts where you can like, right, if you have really good artifacts, right, which you might not have this good artifacts, you probably won't have this good artifacts, but 5 artifacts that, you know, if each one of them has 10% crit rate, which, yes, that's a big assumption, but if each one of them has 10% crit rate, right, that puts you at like 90% crit rate with a crit damage weapon on a crit damage ascending character and a crit damage circlet. That's bonkers. Like that's why the damage value is so good. The damage potential is so good from that artifact set. But of course, again, that's assuming that the Hydro Archon works well. So, like, the Hydro Archon, assuming the Hydro Archon works well, and assuming the Hydro Archon has not potato Hydro application and not potato, like, damage of her own, which I imagine she does. She probably contributes a meaningful amount of damage. Why did I go over here? In the case of Hutao, it could be a really, really strong example with the conjunction with the new artifacts and whatever the Hydro Archon does, right? So the Hydro Archon could buff Hutao naturally on her own kit, naturally help her reduce her HP such that she might be able to have less than 50% HP with her first rotation, which is not normally something that happens with Hutao, which can meaningfully increase the performance and speed at which Hutao can clear things. And Hutao's already strong, right? And then whatever the Hydro Archon contributes of their own damage, and then the new artifact set's like ridiculous. So for people that are hyper invested in Hutao, it makes a lot of sense, is all I'm saying, that they would strategically, assuming that, you know, these baseline thinkings based on that rumor of what the Hydro Archon's kit is true, which in my opinion seems more true more believable with the new artifacts. It just means that it makes sense for them to try to release Hutao. The patch for the Hydro Archon is in beta. The Hydro Archon who will buff Hutao a lot among many other potential characters. So, yeah. Watch Mihoyo mess up her kit in some way. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if the Hydro Archon can kill your characters, that will definitely mess with things quite a lot and mess with how easy it is to use her. But I would not mind it. I don't think it would be a bad thing necessarily, particularly depending on the buff. So when will you do an account review? I mean, if you're talking about like a full real account review, and no commitments to ever doing any of them, they take a lot of time, dude. By the way, I use dude, and people around my area use dude as gender neutral. So, trying to assume gender. Can you stop, butthole? I hate these dudes. Character cannot be used with Hutao. Yeah, yeah. If the Hydro Archon does have a bit that says she can kill your active character, it'd be much harder to use Hydro Archon with Hutao. And then my specific example would be invalidated, but that wouldn't invalidate the potential for doing that similar thing. If it still works where like the Hydro Archon drains health of your team members, that still enables the context of using those artifacts on other characters. Hutao is just the best example of it, and it would make strategic sense for them to release Hutao, the patch before the Hydro Archon, when the Hydro Archon is in beta, right? Like they would make a lot of people pull, because their goal, right? Their goal, they always do this, right, with the 0.1 patches. They did it last year, where they released 2 new 5-star characters, one that's super flashy. They were very successful at getting people to pull for Sino in particular last year, in the patch before the Dendro Archon came out. Everyone knew the Dendro Archon was coming in the next patch. But despite that, you know, a whole lot of people were like, I'm going to pull for Sino because, wow, he looks so cool. Look how cool that dude looked. And then a lot of people regretted it. And they wanted to do that because guess what? If you spend all your primos that you were saving up for the 0.0 patches on you know, whoever's in the 0.1 patch before the Archon comes, but they make the Archon really strong and, you know, make you like feel some hardcore, oh god, I really don't want to miss out on having the Hydro Archon. Or the Dendro Archon, right? They try to do things that make you drain your primos. For like people like me who have 34,000 primos, they want me, someone like me, to spend my primos, like spend a good chunk of them on, or most of them in 4.1. That's why they release so many new characters, and they're going to be strategic probably and try to release fucking Hutao for the Hydro Archon, or run Hutao again, not release Hutao. And get me, right, to pull for that character, drain my Primogem resources, because if I have less Primogems for the Hydro Archon, what does that potentially cause me to have to do if you're willing to spend money on the game to get the things you want? It makes you potentially have to top up, and it makes you have to swipe, right? Like that's strategic. That's why they overload the 0.1 patch. They're trying to drain your Primos for something that a character that they are banking on is a character to try to feel FOMO that they have to pull in the patch they release, right? So, how should I use Candace? You're pretty confused how she works. I mean, it depends what constellation you have. You can definitely make Candace work without Constellation 6. It's much, much easier. She contributes a meaningful amount of damage with Constellation 6. Imagine the leak is wrong, there's no strategy. I'll be sad if the leak is wrong and the Hydro Archon is just something like, Hydro Archon applies Hydro in AoE. I'll be like, yay. I want the Hydro Archon to do what she's been leaked to do and apply Hydro in AoE. I want everything. But I would take the buffs, the unique buffing potential, much more over just like AoE Hydro. We have AoE Hydro options. Not necessarily amazing ones, but we have enough AoE Hydro options. I don't need the Hydro Archon to be the best at AoE Hydro. But yeah, like, so anyways, as far as Candace goes, Like, I'm using Candace here for her ability to both Hydro Infuse and do her swap out Hydro application, to be able to try to consistently vape on Dia's skill. That's the basic goal of this team. And... oh, you're immune to Hydro. Alright. Blam. There we go. So, like, right, the unique thing that Candace's ability to do is she does, if you don't have C6, she has less of it, but she has a bunch of front-loaded Hydro application, and if you want to make her work, like, in the most meta perspective, where she, like, actually properly is relevant, the most relevant combination is Yaoyao and Candace together. In the most common situation probably you've probably, like, seen from, like, meta-focused peoples, like, creating the most optimal teams possible or whatever, would be the Candace and Yaoyao in a Nilou Bloom team. But I've also used Candace and Yaoyao for Bloom things on Polems only for a long time and had great success with it. Have I 36 starred every single Abyss in Polems only? No. But since Yaoyao came out, I have 36 starred every single one except for the previous cycle. By previous cycle, I don't mean like the 2-week reset. I mean the like 6-week big reset when all the enemies change. That previous cycle with stupid elemental like application requirements, I never 36 starred that one. I might have been able to, but I just didn't. I valued my sanity enough. I didn't try on Polems only. But like, as soon as I got Yaoyao, the Yaoyao plus Candace combo was good enough to be able to 36 star most Abysses on Polearms only, where I didn't have extra Dendro options to potentially fix the issue of not having enough Dendro application in those teams, right? Like, you can do a Hyperbloom team with, in a normal account, you can do Candace, Yaoyao, and Electro, so like Raiden or Kuki for Hyperbloom, and then a second in your flex slot, a second Dendro, because you probably want a little bit more Dendro, and then you basically try to on-field, you use Candace's burst, and you use her swaps to get a decent bit of... Did I finish the thingies? To get a decent bit of, like, quick Hydra application from the swaps, and then... I did, okay. And then you vape. Oh, man, okay, I don't want to log back into this account with the last resin, but I might. And then you get... yeah, anyway, so... You get fast Hydro application, and then you infuse Yaoyao with Hydro to do normal attacks, charge attacks, while you also like do Yaoyao's burst. And in AoE situations, Yaoyao's burst is actually more than enough Dendro application, but you might want to flex Dendro in like single target situations, like DMC or whatever, Dendro Traveler. And you're off to the races, and you got like a proper Hyper Bloom team or whatever Bloom team going on. So, like, Candace can absolutely be made to work and be part of teams as like the main Hydro enabler for reactions. You just gotta like take advantage of the nuances of her kit, where her burst gives Hydro Infusion, and utilize that Hydro Infusion for extra Hydro application, as well as utilizing the fact that she does AoE Hydro when you're switching your characters. If you have C6, it helps a lot. It really, really helps a lot, because C6 is more additional Hydro application, most notably when you're doing normal attacks. That meaningfully increases her burst damage and makes it like genuinely relevant to put Emblem on her, right? Like, it makes her contribute meaningful damage, and then from there, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I digress. I maintain that Candace works well enough that people do not give her enough credit, like, or give her design enough credit. I quite like how she's designed. I don't love some things. Like, I don't love that they very clearly, in my opinion, having used this lady for a fucking year almost at this point. Are you missing my message? Do you not want to? I am talking. When I am talking, I don't necessarily have the ability to read through every single message or chat. If I'm talking about something, I want to finish what I'm talking about. I can't go and like talk about Candace. I do this a lot by accident. So I try to like be better. If I'm talking, I can't go and read chat and interrupt what I'm currently saying to start saying something else and never finish what I'm saying. I want to finish what I'm saying, because I'm pretty bad in particular about finishing what I'm saying sometimes, and I want to try to be better at that. So I will try to ask, I will read more through chat once I finish what I'm saying. Anyways, C6 Candace, they definitely made Candace to work with like C6. Like, they designed this character C6 and then stripped her of features until he got down. Oh, and if you don't have C1, just don't even use her, in my opinion. She's hot trash without C0 at C0. Just do not use her at C0. So as much as I love her, I would not want to use her at C0. It's an absolute scam that she does not apply hydro, or does not, like, her burst is 9 seconds at C0. It's stupid. So, anyways, let me read chat. Will I do account reviews? Did I already mention? I thought I mentioned that before. If you are asking that again, stop asking it. I'm not doing account reviews today. That's for dang sure. You gotta realize, like, account reviews, if you're using the words account reviews, you're meaning like logging into someone's account and like being like, yeah, here's the blah 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 about your account. The problem with account reviews is that people mix. They're not valuable content in my opinion, because okay, they're not invaluable. They can be valuable, to be clear. They're harder to do though, because you gotta make so many assumptions about people, right? If I just log on to someone's account, right, and I'm aware that, like, I functionally kind of did this with my "Can I fix my friend's Genshin account" video, right? But that was my friend. I knew how she played, and I knew her, and I knew, like, the character she had, blah 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 blah, right? I was able to not make assumptions because of my knowledge about how she played the game, and what she enjoyed, and I was able to literally ask her, because she's my friend, and I could talk to her. When it comes to, like, doing an account review for random people, if I'm just logging into your account like most people do, I'm just being like, I make assumptions. That's why, like, people you'd have to default to, like, doing meta things, because, like, I can only recommend, like, meta-oriented things because I don't know what you like, right? Like, if you suggest, oh, I really want to make a team that Candace works in, then I can, like, try to suggest things. But, like, I'm not going to log into someone's account, do an account review, and make the assumption that, oh, you clearly really want to level up. Like, part of the reason I do Candace and Dina is because I really like both these characters, and I wanted to make them work together. So, anyways, I think you meant your account? My account? Like, what do you mean review my account? I mean, I plan to. I never considered even doing that for my main account. I guess if you were asking my main account, I guess, I mean, I have a few minutes before I log out because I wanna just be able to have enough resin to not log on to the account again today. I guess Candace does have a parry, so you can hold her, or when you're holding her skill, she does instantly charge up her big skill. Only problem with Candace's parry, and I really dislike this about not having her C4. So I have her C4, which reduces her cooldown. It makes her cooldown the same as her tap cooldown, so it's just always 6 seconds. If you don't have C4, you can actually have situations where, like, normally you just want to tap E all the time for, like, optimal rotations on Candace's skill. It depends on the team a little bit, and depends how you're playing, whatever, blah 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 blah. But oftentimes you're just going to want to tap E really quick, swap to Candace, tap E, swap back to whoever else, right? And that's good. But sometimes what will happen is, like, you'll accidentally get a parry off without even trying, and without C4, that is actually like a punishment. You get punished for pulling off a parry sometimes. So I really like parry mechanics, but the fact that they made the cooldown longer if you pull off a parry is super lame. Like, if they wanted to make it like, oh, if you have to manually hold, then you get the longer cooldown, that'd be fine. But the fact that they made it, you also get the longer cooldown if you pull off a parry, is super lame. So, anyways, as far as reviewing my account goes, maybe eventually, I guess I don't know, I could, like, show you, like, specific characters. I tend to avoid polearm characters on this account because I have a polearms only account. But yeah, I don't know. I leveled up, you know, the core strong supports in the game, and then characters I like. I leveled up likes of Yoon Jin because she's a niche buffer, but like, when you have a hankering for, like, I just want to make physical damage and get C big normal attack damage for funsies, Yoon Jin's amazing for that. I love Yoon Jin. She's not super relevant on, like, a meta level necessarily, but I find her really fun for how strong her buff is for what she does. So I don't know. I have a C0 Raiden that I never use. This is my 5-star that I probably would absolutely just throw in the trash can if I had the ability. If I had the ability to refund anything, I would refund this one, because, like, what happened when Raiden originally ran is Raiden and Kokomi were running together, and, like, I wanted Kokomi, but, like, I was at the point where I didn't know that much about the game, didn't know what I wanted, and, you know, everyone God, oh, the Hydro Archon, the Hydro Archon, oh God, the Hydro Archon, or sorry, did I say Hydro? The Electro Archon is so good, Raiden's so amazing, look how flashy Bulbasaur, like everyone in the fucking community, and all like, and I was like a tier list user at that time, like everyone's like, oh, Raiden's fucking amazing, and and so I pulled for her instead of Kokomi, lost the 50-50, which I was sad about because I wanted to pull for her and Kokomi, and then I had to use like everything else I had to get Raiden. And then I decided to say, F it, I want to get Kokomi too. I don't regret doing that. I'm glad I got Kokomi. But I do regret getting Raiden instead of Kokomi, because I basically had to spend money for Kokomi because of the fact that I used my wishes on Raiden, and I never use Raiden. So, I just don't like her. I don't know. It's like, there's a possibility I might do something weird niche with her in the future. Like, I enjoy using her, like, that hybrid build I mentioned on polearms only, but that hybrid build basically requires Staff of Scarlet Sands. So, right. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what there is to say other than that. Like, it's, I don't know. She's not bad. She's interesting. I just, like, not my thing. Nilou, I love. I got kind of lucky. Well, kind of lucky. The one banner I don't regret spending a little bit extra money on was this banner. I didn't actually have to spend money on this banner to get this weapon. But I did actually spend extra money on that banner to get R5 Ziphos. That's the only time I would actually say I don't think I regret wishing on the weapon banner. I mean, a lot of my 5-star weapons I have on this account, like Kagura's Verity, I did a single 10 pull on Yamiko's first banner, and I got Kagura's. Tighnari's banner. I got the weapon that you might never be able to get because they might literally never run this freaking weapon again. So, like, yeah. So I did a single 10 pull. I've gotten overly lucky, but most of the time when I wish on a weapon banner, it's been stupid. But the one time I don't regret spending a lot of wishes on weapon banner was this weapon for Nilou, and then I also got Jade Cutter, so that was nice. Alright, I think it fixed itself. Sorry, stream issue. I gotta fix that. Give me a second. Give me a second. Actually, let me... Here. I'm gonna pause stream for a second. Let me fix that. Let me fix it. The entire stream, I thought it was working today. But clearly not. I don't know. There we go. I paused it for a bit. I said I paused it for a bit. I was hoping you guys heard that, but... So anyways, it should be fine now. It shouldn't happen again. I'm just gonna not use AV1. I don't know. The fun of using bleeding edge technology is that, like, make meaningful improvements to things I'm doing. Like, yay, it looks good, but then, like, it does shit like that where, like, the only way to fix that is to stop streaming and start streaming again. It doesn't fix it. I don't understand why the fuck it happens. It's so stupid. And it's only an issue when I'm using AV1. So it's clearly something I presume on either YouTube's end or OBS's end. Probably YouTube's end, but, like, fucking YouTube ain't gonna listen to shit. So, I don't know. Like, anyways. Finishing my account review. Yelan, I have Yelan C6 because I was stupid. Like, when I had 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, I was like... And the rate at which I was going, I was like, you know what, I was going to do a bullish thing, be like, hey, if I get... And I was like in... Oh, I was in a stupid, like, subscribers mentality mode. Like, I don't ask for, like, people to subscribe that often anymore unless I'm just, like, being dumb and my brain falls back to old patterns. But, like, I was being like, hey, you know, if I get 5,000 subscribers by the time Yelan's banner ends, I will C6 Yelan. And I hit, like, I hit 5k subscribers. And I only, like, passingly mentioned this even, like, in text on screen in a polearms only video. So, like, I could have easily not done it. Like, literally the night before after I hit 5k, I was like, I winched to my friends. I was like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking idiot for saying I'd do that. Like, and the long and short is, yeah, I was an idiot for saying I would do that, but I was stubborn and I did it anyways because I said I would do it. And I regret doing that, and I don't think anyone would have cared if I just was like, okay, instead I'm just gonna go for 1 Yelan, or 2 Yelans, or 3 Yelans instead of fucking C6. I hate C6 Yelan. It actively makes me... I actively avoid using it. I really hate C6 Yelan. It's too strong, and it trivializes too many things. Like, it's stupid. Didn't I say I would change account? Yes, I'm going to change account after I hit resin in a minute. So, yes. anyways, let's go over here and craft the resin. Stay hydrated. True. Let me take a drink. That happens when you slander the Electro Archon. Yeah, the Electro Archon zapped YouTube and screwed my YouTube or my computer and made the stream go down.
The things that are most important, no matter what it takes.
I'm not saying Raiden's bad. I just don't like her. I've like never found a use for her. She got a lot more interesting and useful with Dendra's release, but like not in a way I cared about meaningfully. So, but yeah, like C6 Yolage, just like it's fine because I can actually just not use it, right? But it makes me go out of my way to make sure I like don't do normal attacks with Yelan on field. That's just annoying. It's annoying to have to think about that. I would turn it off if I could. C5 I like because I like doing my favorite Yelan build. I have freaking Gilded Dreams on Yelan because my favorite Yelan team is a Burning Burgeon team that tries to use Kazuha Bennett as well as Nahida together to keep up constant pyro application to be able to vape every instance of Candace's skill. And with Gilded Dreams and a good build going, and I like properly rotate and everything, I can get like 300, 400,000 plus consistently on this build. Like, it's a really fun build for Yelan in my opinion. And I love that, but guess what? C6 don't do shite there. So, anything past C5, I don't care. C4 is, in my opinion, by far her best constellation because it turns her into an HP buffer, which there's no HP buffer in the game currently. So, I actually kind of enjoy having C4. C2 is whatever, it just makes her Hydra application equivalent to Xingqiu. Like, it's not bad, it is good. I just, more Hydra application. I like, if I needed more Hydra, if there's situations where I needed the functionality of Xingqiu / Yelan in the team, but I needed more Hydra application, I'll just use Xingqiu. So I didn't need C2, like I didn't care. So it barely matters to me. This is burst damage upgrade, doesn't matter. This is skill damage upgrade matters to me because her skill damage multiplier is big, and giving 3 levels to a big multiplier is actually significant, particularly when I do stupid vape teams. And then C4 is actually unlocks team buffing utility, so yeah. Even if it's most relevant for just buffing Yelan herself. So anyways. Nahida, I do have C2. Nahida C2 is another instance of I regret spending money. Because basically what happened is, so I could have gotten Nahida C2 without spending money. Basically what happened is I continued wishing on Nahida's banner after I got Nahida. I won Nahida's 50-50, did not have to spend money. Continued wishing, and at like 50 pity, oh look, an early 5-star. Sweet! And then it's Chi-Chi. I was like, well, that sucks. Click Nahida. It was a back-to-back 5-star, back-to-back double early 5-star. So functionally, though, the bullshit part about that, though, is right. That pull could have been C2 Nahida, or it could have been C1 Nahida and then a fit and then a guarantee for something in the future, right? But instead, it was a 50-50 loss for a useless fucking character into the guarantee, right? So functionally, I got one of the luckiest things that could possibly happen in this game. Not only a double 5-star pull, but I got double early 5-star pull. But because of the fact that I got fucking Chi-Chi beforehand, it basically functionally was the same as winning a 50-50. And that was the moment, that was the number one wake-up call where I'm just like, yeah, this system is fucking bullshit. Sorry, well, actually, the wake-up call was after. Because what that made me do was like, oh god, C2 Nahida, which is really fun. I think it's one of the most fun constellations in the game. A bit too strong, in my opinion, but super fun. It's ridiculously strong. Like C2 Nahida is a better like constellation for any Dendro or Electro DPS than their own constellations. Yai constellations are because I just like Yai, and I didn't really have to spend any meaningful amount of money for Yai. I think I spent a small amount of money. Like, it's fine. I really liked Yai, and I wanted her range upgrade. The only reason I wanted C2 was the range upgrade. That was the only reason. I didn't care about the damage upgrade that much. Like all this damage upgrade does is just a range upgrade, or other than the range upgrade is just a increase to level 4, which is just a small multiplier increase. It's not that meaningful, especially with aggravate. The DPS increase from this is not that significant relative to the DPS you just get from like aggravate. So like, anyways, the range upgrade though I quite like. So anyways, I spent $300 to get C2 Nahida, and that was not fun. Like I got lucky, got C1 Nahida, but it was, yeah, but it was still, I didn't think of it at the time, but after I spent $300, I was like, wait, this fucking game, just one of the luckiest things that could possibly happen to me happened, right? Where I got a double early 5-star that was literally back to back to get a C1 Nahida. But functionally what that did is the design of this constellations is meant to make you do what it did to me. It's meant to bait you into spending money because, wow, I got lucky and got C1. Now I can get C2. Right? So, Aggravate does not scale with it. I mean, Aggravate doesn't scale off skill damage. I mean, Aggravate is an additive bonus based on your character's level and like elemental mastery. It adds a flat amount of damage based on your character's level and elemental mastery. So like with Yai at level 90 and like 143 M here, I think it's something like, off the top of my head, like a 4,000 flat damage increase. But that 4,000 flat damage is increased by like that flat damage is increased by your crit damage and your elemental damage bonus, right? So that 4,000 flat damage is more like a 10,000 flat damage per every time I aggravate with her skill, right? So like the relative damage increase that you get from aggravate versus the relative damage increase you get from just her skill going from level 3 to level 4, a 40% attack multiplier increase is nothing. Like this is nothing relative to how much of an increase you get for aggravate. So I barely noticed the damage upgrade. On my Yai and the teams I use her on nowadays. So every 50-50 loss to Chi-Chi gets you one step closer to out-healing your co-op's teammates' stupidity, so I'll gladly take all those Chi-Chis. Where's my Chi-Chi even at? C2. Alright, there you go. Yay. Thank you for the €6, Len. But yeah, so as this was the wake-up call, I was like, okay, this game made me get lucky. It managed to, like, it's just gambling things, right? It was the number one thing. I'm like, okay, it's just making me gamble, essentially, by making me get lucky and then be like, oh, I'm close to this thing that I really want that would be fun. And so I spent the money. I was like, F it, I'll spend the money for a chance to get it. And then I lost the 50-50 and I was like, sunk cost fallacy or whatever, right? So I don't know. Yai C2, by the way, my decision was when Yai was rerunning, I was like, I'm just going to roll. I'm going to roll until I lose a 50-50, because then I can have a guarantee for a future character. And I did not lose it, or until I lose a 50-50, I was not going to C6. I was just going to C2, because I think that's the only relevant constellation in my opinion. C6, C4 is whatever, C6 is whatever. So, yeah, I was like, Yai's better, I really like Yai. I don't have that specific desire to roll for anyone coming out in the next few months, so I rolled for Yai, used basically all my primogems, had to spend a little tiny bit of money to get the second 5-star, I think, if I recall. Like it was like $30 or something, and I maybe bought an extra Welkin or something for a couple wishes, if I recall. And I won both 50-50s, so, you know, I'll take it. Was it that meaningful? Was it worth? I wouldn't say it was worth, but all things considered, I don't necessarily regret it because it didn't actually cost that much. C2 Kaza only happened because C6 Elan took way less wishes. I purchased more wishes than I thought I would. Like I bought like 500 wishes to be able to get 5 copies of Elan, and that was like 200 more than I needed. I got 5 Elans and 300 wishes, which was ridiculous. So, and then I got 2 extra Kazuhas with the remaining. So, yeah, that's why I have C2 Kazuha. C2 Kazuha is not worth going for, in my opinion. I could get into the weeds of why I don't think C2 Kazuha is worthwhile. But the problem, the number one reason why I don't think C2 Kazuha is worthwhile is, despite the fact that it is very strong, it's a little bit restricted to actually take advantage of the buff because it only buffs your on-field character. And if there is a team in which it makes sense that you would really want the 200 EM from something like C2 Kazuha, you can just use Sucrose instead. Sucrose at C0 gives you a similar amount of EM buff as C2 Kaza. Yes, you don't have the Elemental Mastery buff, but if you really want the EM buff, it just makes sense to use Sucrose over Kaza, right? So the teams where this is relevant is teams where you want the Kaza's elemental damage bonus buff and the EM buff at the same time. Like, it's a very strong constellation. It also buffs Kaza's own inherent buffs even further and makes him do more swirly damage. Like, it's a good constellation, to be clear. I just don't think it's worth going for necessarily. So I would rather have the wishes back for these. That's for sure. I also didn't lose any 50-50 for Kaza, so that's also part of the reason I have that. Dia, I love Dia, one of my favorite characters, but she's hot trash garbage. Tignari, really like. C0 Tignari, got lucky with his bow, mentioned that before. Baiju is boring, but I have been using a lot, so I don't mind having him, but he is incredibly boring. I'm disappointed. Fish is useful. Second Fish, also useful. I only recently built Fischl up. Thanks, Fischl. Kirara is really fun. Not worth level 90 in my opinion, but I have fun with her because Catbox mode, Gober. Yeah, I don't know. I don't regret it. I don't think it's worth, but I don't regret it. It was fun. So, yeah. She deserves Jade Cutter. Ganyu. Second, it was the second limited 5-star I got, but anyways. I basically never use her anymore, but I don't mind having her because she is relevant for like burst support. Apparently I put Chimenez on her when I was testing something with her some time ago. Why does she have Thundering Pulse? I don't even know. Why do I even have Thundering Pulse? Oh, I remember why I have Thundering Pulse, because when I was pulling for Nahida, my friends egged me on with my good luck, my good luck was winning 150-50, and I was like, I don't have good luck. See, I am not going to get Nahida's signature weapon, and I did not get Nahida's signature weapon. Instead, I got a useless Thundering Pulse. Anyways, and then Xiao, who's using a this. So that's how much I use Xiao. My Xiao build is actually not bad, but I don't feel like actually equipping him properly, so yeah.
Even when it looks futile.
Yes, I have 40 resin probably. Sorry for rambling. Someone asked for an account review. There you go. That's my main account review. That's the story of my main account. And nowadays I like to do stupid creative things. And, like, I have enough artifacts that I can just justify spending stupid amounts of time and resources on Dia's garbage ass artifacts, just because I want to make Dia work in a really niche team, but also still function outside of like Dia still works in Monopyro on these artifacts, and she works in this team much better now. So that's why I farm these artifacts. Anyways, I'm jealous because you have Kirara. I did one YOLO 10 pull on for Kirara, took a risk on it because I was like, I kind of want her, and I got her. I'm happy I got her. So, is she that good? No, I would have been perfectly fine without her. I wouldn't be missing out on anything, but I do like having her, and she's fun. So, anyways, how many Dias do you have? 0. C0. I have 1, obviously. So, would love C1. C2, I wouldn't mind C2. It'd be fine. C3, whatever. C4 would be nice, ER reduction, but whatever. And C6 is just, burst damage increase. But honestly, other than C1, I don't care that much about Dia's constellations. Like, she does have very strong constellation scaling. I wouldn't mind any Dia constellations because I enjoy her. But C1 is honestly the only meaningful one I want, because particularly because I'm using these artifacts on her, it would actually meaningfully increase her damage. So, anyways. But yeah. Let's go. Did I use the resin? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Alright, let's go on to polearms only quick, and then we'll do weapons only things. Let me bring the turtle. Where's the turtle? Turtle. There's turtle. Alright. Quit. Kirara noises is the only reason to pull for her. Indeed. Wrong button. I was considering doing Abyss things on polearms only today, but I have spent way too long talking about things. Oh good lord. By the way, I titled this friggin' stream, I have in the thumbnail like I want to talk about LTX. I haven't even talked about LTX because too many people in chat distracted me. Frickin' did an account review for myself, or not really a review. I did an account overview. That wasn't really a review. Instead of talking about LTS, good lord. Yeah, Abyss is not happening on polearms only today. What are the plans for polearms only for now? I mean, I got a couple new videos planned. One One whenever Raiden is rerunning. One whenever, or I plan to do a video for Real Thizzly, maybe a video or two for Real Thizzly, assuming he's a polearm, which he probably is. I plan to do a Raiden video, and I also plan to do a video that I was hoping to get it out when I was actually on vacation, but I didn't because it's a lot of work, and it's a scripted video, and I haven't had the motivation to actually properly write the script. Whoops. Alright, bye-bye, turtle. Do-do-do. As you can see, Polearms Only is free to play. I'm mostly buying Welkin on Polearms Only, just like try to build up a supply for wishing content. And so that I have the... But the reason it's $5. I'm logging in anyways, right, on Polearms Only. $5 that justifies that I can skip some events if I don't feel like doing them, and I can have resources that I just don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about exploring new areas, right, on Polearms Only, because I can just buy a Welkin. I didn't purchase Welkin for 4 months straight on Polearms Only. I only started buying Welkin the last month because, again, on this account, because of Rio Thizzly coming and potentially other Polearm characters. So after Rio comes out and I see what my resources are after him, then I'll decide what I want to do past that. So I might stop buying it again, but as long as it seems like there's a relevant 5-star to save for, I might just keep on buying that on this account. But anyways, don't try to hide that whale Hutao. I wouldn't say it's really a whale Hutao. I fully have the ability to get, without spending any money past the Welkin, whatever, right, obviously. I have the ability to get C1 Hutao without spending any money, but then my brother spent money for me as a gift. So, to get me C1 Hutao. I was losing my mind trying, I was grinding. I don't know if anyone watched that. I grinded when Hutao's banner was running for C1 Hutao. And failed to get C1 Hutao. I got a Mona. Thank you. Silly Billy Hilly Churl. Oh, dang it. Man, every time my voice, I try to do the ooh, and my voice is just nope, you don't produce sounds this high. Anyways, yeah, I lost the 50-50 trying to get C1 Hutao. It took me 10 hours to grind just to get C1 Hutao, and then I lost the 50-50. I was distraught. I was losing my mind trying to farm more, and then my brother took pity on me because it was the month of our birth. My brother and I share the same birthday, and he bought me a top-up. He bought me a freaking top-up more than I needed, but whatever. He bought me a top-up to get C1 Hutao, so I did not wail for Hutao. That's my point. I just happened to be able... We happened to be able to get lucky enough that we saved enough to be able to get Staff of Homa. Staff of Homa took 100 pulls. We got Hutao without having to spend extra money. Or spend anything extra, and then C1 technically took extra monies because my brother took pity on me. I theoretically could have still grinded for C1 Hutao, but God, I would have lost my mind. And I did pay him back too, yes, because that's how birthday gifts work. So, in a roundabout sense, yes, I paid for C1 Hutao, but I did not choose to buy C1 Hutao. Okay, this was not a whaling incident. The only whaling incident that ever happened on this account was for this lady, and that I will never say that was not worthwhile. That was absolutely worthwhile. That was the only incident where I wailed, okay, on this account. Other than that, other than the top-up, the one top-up I did for Candace C6, and the top-up my brother did for me, it's just been Welkins, basically, and the battle passes. But I haven't bought battle pass in quite a while, so... Anyways, what was I saying? What? Did I already do this? I must have just done this. Yep, I just did this, okay. Free to play is forced to play, exactly. People often forget Xiao being as a girl, all the visible confusion of the fan base when they meet her at conventions. Yeah, I learned about that at some point. Very, very good VA, that's for sure. Alright, anyways, what are we doing? Dailies, let's do dailies. Because that's what you do in Genshin. That's all you do in Genshin. Will I buy it for the new weapons? Buy what for the new weapons? Top-ups? Or... if we're talking about Real Thizzly, if Real Thizzly is standard banner, and his weapon is potentially relevant, being that I have enough recent... I'd rather have Real Thizzly and his weapon, than, C2 Raiden, right? So I probably have the resources now. How many wishes do I have? Like, if Real Disney is like first half of 4.1, I'm probably gonna have, yeah, I have like another 20 on top. I have like 100. I have a guarantee right now because I wished extra on Shenhao's banner trying to get C6 Mika. Did not get C6 Mika. I have a guarantee right now, so we can guarantee getting Rio Thisley, and then we have another, 100 some wishes. We'll probably have enough to guarantee his weapon, and even in the worst case scenario, which I don't want to have to use all my resources for his fucking weapon. Hey, it's a dude. But if we have to, I don't know, maybe. If his weapon is relevant, and being that it's a standard banner, or he's potentially a standard banner character, and that means his weapon might never show up again. I think I might pull for his weapon. Anyways. Oh, the battle pass. The battle pass weapon is interesting. I know, like, so I will almost assuredly buy one copy of the battle pass. The problem with buying the battle pass on this account is like the nice thing about pole, well, kind of a nice thing in some ways. After you like have all the polearm characters, you don't exactly need all the resources. Like, you don't need the talent books, right? You don't really need all the heroes wits. You don't really need the more that badly, even, right? After you've got the characters and you've got them leveled up, you don't have anything to do with your heroes wits, right? Like, how many heroes wits do I even have? I have 634, and I have 2,000 of these, which is like another 400, or 1,700 of these, which is like another 400 heroes wits. I have functionally 1,000 heroes wits, which is enough to like level 90 two new characters and level 80 another character, right? Like, I don't need the resources from the battle pass essentially on this account anymore, is what I'm saying. So the only reason to buy a new battle pass would be the weapon, essentially. And I'll probably buy one because it is a relevant weapon, right? It's got 120 EM and it has like 27% crit rate. It might be relevant to have as an option, but I've gotten lucky enough, like I got engulfing lightning on a single 10 pull in this count, right? And I managed, I somehow have 2 jade spears. Like, the one jade spear came when we first wished for it, because we got lucky with Hutao. Like, I've gotten really lucky with my weapons in this account in particular, particularly in conjunction. Like the only reason I've been able to wish as much in the weapon banner as I had is because like I've won enough 50. We haven't been like insanely lucky with characters necessarily. We haven't gotten like a lot of early characters on this account. But we won enough 50-50s that we were able to justify wishing on the weapon banner on this count. That's why I like have Engulfing Lightning, because I was like, yeah, I'll risk a 10 pull on Engulfing Lightning, and like somehow lol got it. It was probably one of my favorite wishing moments in this account. And then Staff of Homo was a calculated risk, and took like 100 and some wishes, and we managed to get another Jade Spear in wishing for Staff of Homo, so it wasn't horrible. And Staff of Scarlet Sands, I didn't even record it because I'm a twat. I was wishing for just Fab Lances at the time when Staff of Scarlet Sands was first running, because I had like I think I only had 1 Fab Lance at the time. And if you didn't notice, I really like Fab Lances. Fab Lances are kind of important to this account. There's a reason I have 5 of them leveled up. I was like, I need more Fab Lances, so I did like off-screen, my dumb arse did pulls on the Staff of Scarlet Sands banner, expecting nothing, and then got a Staff of Scarlet Sands and 30 pulls. Like, I've gotten very lucky with weapons on this account. So, like, point is, what exactly do I need a weapon that has a decent base attack, a decent amount of crit rate, or like it's like 10% less crit rate than Deathmatch, but then gives 120 EM for? Like it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not like it's a good weapon for Sino. It's a decent weapon for Hutao. I have Staff of Homa, right? So it's like I could put it on Hutao instead of Staff of Homa, maybe. I could put it on Sino instead of Jade Spear, but I'm pretty sure Jade Spear is probably still better for Sino. And like maybe at R5 it's better than Jade Spear for Sino. Maybe, but like I don't really want to buy 5. Like I was just mentioning, I don't need the other resources in the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass makes the most sense when you're constantly building new characters and need the resources. Because I'm inherently not building new characters anymore, because I have all the polearm characters, I don't really need the extra resource in Battle Pass. Therefore, like, it just would be spending money to get like refinements on the spear. So like I don't know, like it'd be kind of funny to have an R5 version of it, to be clear, because I believe at R5 it gives like 240 EM, right? Which is more EM than Dragon's Bane gives. So like I could give it to Raiden. Like, I could give Raiden an R5 of the new Battle Pass weapon so that Raiden has 20 more EM. Like, I gotta get Raiden, like, I gotta get right and have 100, you know, 1,000 EM on flop. That's why I need to get R5 of the battle pass weapon. For that one extra flat EM roll. But like, it wouldn't even put her over 1,000 EM. I mean, I would probably consider if it put her over 1,000 EM because human brains are fucking stupid. But it would still require like farming more flop, and ugh, it doesn't actually matter. Like, what does one EM roll do? Like, basically nothing. So, no. The main reason to go for refinements would be more for like the use of Sino or Hutao, right? And to free up the use of one of the other weapons on someone else. But I don't know. It feels like to me I have enough weapon options that it doesn't seem relevant. So I'll probably buy one just so I at least have the option for it. And that's kind of it. By the way, my Candace on this account is cracked. But anyways, 156 crit damage with 200 ER. And this is without, like, my Candace on my main account, right, that I just showed, has, like, the same ER, but that's with Zipho's Moonlight on the team giving, like, 26% ER or something like that. So I'm cheating. This is Candace with, it is with the catch, to be clear, which gets more ER than Fab does on that account, so it kind of balances out. But anyways, that, like, my Candace on my main account had 100 crit damage and 70% crit rate. This Candace has less crit rate, but I'm using the catch, so functionally the same crit rate. And 150 crit damage. Because my stupid goblet. That's basically all it is. But I don't know. Anyways, also 27k HP, which is also a lot. But she's level 90, which is the main reason for that. So I don't think I have an insane amount of HP substats. 1 HP substat, HP timepiece, 1 HP substat, 1 HP substat. Yeah, like a decent amount. But yeah, this is a very, very strong Candace build. Like I basically can't improve it. It's basically impossible. Like 15 Fav Lances? I think you wished a couple times on Weapon Banner. Alright. Let's talk about LTS, because why did I come over here? Oh, there's a daily over here. That's why. LTX. So, my vacation. I mentioned before I went to Vancouver. I think I mentioned I went to LTX before I went to LTX. But I didn't talk about it that much. So LTX, for those that aren't aware, are... Really? Bro. Really? For those that aren't aware, LTX is a tech convention that's basically Linus Tech Tips, the big tech YouTuber. His company, it's not him. His company, oh my god, really? This daily is literally for like talking to these dudes, and I have to go murder them because they aggroed me. It's not my fault. Solidify. Not my fault. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. Oh, LTX. Derp. So yeah, Linus Tech Tips, big tech boy, big tech company boy. Went to that convention. I also did the LAN, the bring your own computer. They called it the Whale LAN, and I've never been to a convention before, and I'm definitely not someone who would naturally be inclined to do that because lots of people. But I'm also much more inclined to trying new experiences than I was in my past. And so I very much wanted to go, wanted to try it, and my friend was with me. He asked if I wanted to go. I was like, yeah, I want to go. I was already considering going anyways, and he asked me. I'm like, yeah, let's go, dude. And so I went to that. But actually, you know what? I'm going to go with this in chronological order. So anyways, went to that. Me and him got an Airbnb. Airplane things are annoying. I might have a rant about WestJet selling us a ticket for Delta Airlines, making things a pain in the butt for my flight back, but that has nothing to do. Anyway, so let's go in chronological order of things that happened. So bought our tickets for LTX Tech Convention, yay, and for the Whale LAN. So brought laptops, and LAN is basically, and just in case LAN just stands for local area network, but when people are saying a LAN event, that means like you're playing games on a local network with people, usually with people you don't know. So it's very much a socially focused like gaming event, right? And I've never been to one before, knew what they were, and really, really interesting. I have specific thoughts, but I'll go into later. But yeah, chronologically, ordered the tickets for that. The tickets themselves were not expensive for the event, relative to the travel costs. Go figure. Plane ride to and from Vancouver, in and out of the U.S. was very expensive. and then Airbnb in downtown Vancouver was also expensive, but cheaper than a hotel. So yeah. And they also had a fridge and a washing machine, so that helped for like packing things. But anyways, because of like the cost of plane tickets on like weekend trips, me and Josh decided to go to Vancouver. The convention was on the weekend of like July 29th and 30th. So it was just on the weekend. It was just 2 days. But we flew out on Wednesday because just cheaper flights, and we were flying back on the next Tuesday. So basically it was there for 6 days. And obviously I didn't, because that needed to do some things. Me and my friend, though, were terrible. Like, we're terrible at being like, if we're going to a new area, we both knew, like, it's like, what the F are we going to do in Vancouver for 4 days? The answer is, like, you're in a new city, dumbass. There's plenty of things to do. But the problem is, if it was just me and him, we would not have done shit. But, coincidentally, my other friend, Kelly, the one that appeared in the video, she and her husband, both Brett, and good friends, he's appeared in video very occasionally. Good friends, she happened to be on vacation, like, this was like a month or two before we were leaving. She's like, what am I going to do at vacation at the end of July? I'm like, wait, when's your vacation? You can come to Vancouver with us. And then she did. Long story short, she and Brett came to Vancouver with us, and that completely changed the vacation. It was the most stereotypically touristy I've been, like just going around the city and doing different things. But, what are we doing? I have resin, don't I? Yes, I do. It was the most stereotypically touristy I've been in, like, in a new area. But it was also, like, the first time in life I've actually, like, ever really felt the value out of just, like, going to fucking random places in the city and just experiencing new places in a city. It gave me genuine, like, envy to, like, living in like, a downtown area of a city, and just, like, man, the freedom of being able to walk to, like, different areas and experiencing all the different things, and purchase anything you want, like, I get it. I absolutely get why people enjoy living in a city. If it weren't for just bonkers, stupid cost of living to live in a downtown area of a city, I'd absolutely want to do it. And maybe I'll still do it in the future. We'll see. But cost of living, stupid. So we'll see. Chronologically, basically what happened was, first day we got there, landed, met them, and this was the first time I'd met them in person before, like once, or actually no, Brett I originally met in person. Brett and Kelly, I played D&D with them every week, and like talked to them, like usually at least 3 out of 7 days of the week I talk to them and like play games with them at nighttime. We're gonna be playing Baldur's Gate and doing D&D tonight, right? So very close friends for like the last 5 years. Talk to them multiple days a week on most weeks, but hadn't really done much with them in person other than like one time where we met for like one night to do like board games or whatever. I don't even remember exactly what we did. That was years ago. Garbage. And so anyways, no idea how this would go, like hanging out with these people that I'm very comfortable with online but never have done like things in person with very often, right? And it was fantastic, long story short. And it so if Kelly, if you're watching this, thanks. I mean, she already knows this. I've said thanks already. It was like, it genuinely made it feel like everything was way more fun and a lot more valuable. Her dragging us around, but first night there, we basically didn't do much other than just check out a few things in Vancouver. We went, if you're ever in Vancouver, by the way, Vancouver, Canada, of course, hopefully it's obvious that I'm talking about Vancouver, Canada, check out Steamworks. Steamworks is like a restaurant, bar, combo place thingy, pub. I don't know what you exactly call it. Holy crap, that place was fantastic. Atmosphere there, great. I'm not a food person, so didn't really try that much of the food realistically. But anyways, Kelly took me. Kelly's here. Hello, Kelly. Kelly dragged us there because her thing is going to, when she likes to travel to new cities. She's very much a city traveler. So she was a great person to have to drag me, Brett, and Josh. Josh is the main person that I was going to the convention with. Around the city to try new things, and their main goal, which to be clear, they weren't peer pressuring me into this. If anything, I peer pressured them into doing it because I wanted to experience it. I genuinely didn't want to. I don't drink alcohol, and for quite a long time, I very much interesting. I very much swore off of like. I was like, no, I will not drink alcohol because philosophical reasons. Basically, I didn't like the idea of having to rely on a chemical to act as social lubricant. It's just like on a philosophical level, not an attractive idea to me. But anyways, I was like, yeah, I am down to try the alcohols. You guys enjoy this? I want to like, and my family, you know, partakes in the alcohols. I want to understand why, right? I want to at least try to understand why, and I am interested in trying stuff. It tastes like vomit to me, you know, but I invited them to try to get me to try to find an alcohol I would enjoy. And they had me try mostly some beers, some craft beers, a lot of craft beers. And at Steamworks, we tried a flight of craft beers. And it still tasted like alcohol, but there was an alcohol called a gummy sour there that actually genuinely was like, this is actually enjoyable to drink. It still can taste the alcohol. It's definitely there. But like, the nuance of the flavor was actually like, I can actually get why you would enjoy this. The alcohol doesn't taste good, but the contrast with like the sweet and sourness of it, contrasted with the alcohol, and that it being an alcohol, I imagine is attractive to many people. Good. All right. But like, yeah, most of those though, most of the beers I tasted, I insulted my friends by, Josh in particular, by saying the IPA beers were better than a Guinness, which wasn't actually a serious thing, but I did say that it semi not just jokingly, because like the IPA beers, very distinct. IPA, for those that don't know, I only recently learned this, so I'm probably going to even misremember something, is basically you take hops, which make up beer, and you make the beer very hoppy. That's a very simplified way of describing it. I don't remember exactly. And they tend to taste very strong, and there's very strong opinions apparently in the beer enjoyer community about IPAs. You either love them or hate them is what it seems like. And I did not enjoy them. They did not taste good to me, but it was very distinct, and I could understand why you might enjoy it. And I said that I liked them, and I jokingly, half-jokingly, said that I liked it more because of like trying that one more than I like trying the Guinness that is Josh's favorite, and he was insulted. So that was enjoyable. Anyways, the second day they actually got me drunk. I had a whopping two pints of something. What is it? It was I had a pint of gummy sour on the second day we were there, and then we also went to the aquarium. Did a lot of walking. Aquarium was great. Park was great. There was a bridge that looked cool. And then, anyways, I told my friends I was willing to try to get drunk. Did not feel drunk after one pint of gummy sour. And, yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so like my alcohol tolerance is very low. It's probably only just whatever my body size is. And anyways, and then they took me somewhere else. It was like later at night, and tried apple juice, the alcohol drink. It was a Summersby, and yep, it was basically, yeah, you could barely taste the alcohol. It was very, very, very slightly there, but like, it's still had the same like alcohol content as like a normal beer or whatever. But basically, you put a shit ton of sugar in a drink, and turns out you can mask the alcohol. Go figure. Who knew? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I should switch to weapons only. I will switch to weapons only. And anyways, I got drunk for the first time in my life, and it wasn't like heavily drunk. Like I didn't black out. I remember everything. Very slightly tipsy drunk, as I imagine what my state of being was, and it was weird. Upon reflection of it, I can't say I like super enjoyed it because I didn't know how it would be, right? Like for those that aren't aware, like the reason like people like alcohol on a social level is, I'm gonna bring up Turtle and log on to other account. On a social level, the reason you drink alcohol is inhibitions, right? You reduce your inhibitions, and it acts as a social lubricant, which is to say, your brain stops giving two flying f***s about anything, and you just say things that come to mind. What was weird is like I definitely felt that, and like I was definitely in a I don't give a fuck mood. Beyond. There's a cat at the door. I think. I thought I heard a scratch. It's not the door. Never mind. Alright. Beyond. There we go. I had no idea how, basically, right. You lower your inhibitions and it's like, alright, how do you act? And a little bit scary in that sense because like, alright, I don't know how I'm gonna act. Hopefully I don't act like a terrible human being. Right? Like, sometimes I have, intrusive thoughts and I don't normally say these things because your brain inhibits you from doing so. Being drunk reduces said inhibitions. And anyways, I found out that apparently I just shut the fuck up. What happened when I got drunk is I just stopped talking. I just started to completely I very much was extraordinarily focused on what my friends were saying. Like when we were walking around, I was just listening to them. But I did not contribute much in talking wise. I just like hyper focused on what they were saying. I also just stared at the light polluted sky of Vancouver at nighttime, which my friends will be like, they were very, very laughy and giggly at the fact that I was staring at the stars that didn't exist. Smart move. I mean, I don't know. Something about like what happened when I got drunk was that I just basically got into a state of mind where I just thought, and it was weird though because like probably if I like I'd stare at the stars when I'm not drunk, to be clear. I just don't normally focus on them as much as I did when I was drunk, and just stared at the fucking stars and barely talked while also like hyper focusing, listening on my friends' conversation at the same time. And I did like chime in and whatever if they interacted with me, had the ability to interact with me. Again, I was functional. It was probably just a little tipsy. I could feel the effects of it. It was definitely like, yeah, this is not normal feeling. But it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't walk or anything, right? And my brain was functioning. I felt functional, I think. And anyways, I just shut up. Like I have gained relatively decent social skills, I'd say, in my life, where I can like have a conversation with strangers and try to engage with people meaningfully well. When I was drunk, I just like stopped giving a fuck. I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna shut up and watch. Like one thing I've never understood, we went to another bar because Kelly was annoyed, by the way, because I was a bit drunk, Brett was drunk, Josh was drunk, but then Kelly was not drunk. She is the smallest person among the group, and she has the highest alcohol tolerance. So anyway, she wanted to be drunk, so she went to some fucking, I don't know, a bar I didn't care for. But anyways, I've always like been interested, like people talk about like people watching, right? Like my professor when I was getting my communication degree, so he was like, yeah, he loves people watching. I've never been able to get into people watching, and I think it's just always been like in the back of my head, I don't want to stare at people because like, I don't know, stupid social anxiety brain or something is like, what if they notice me staring at them? How do I deal with like interacting with them if they notice me staring at them? Well, benefit of being drunk is you don't give a shit about that aspect. I didn't, at least. Some people might, I imagine. It can have different effects on different people, right? But I didn't care anymore, and I just stared at people in that bar, and like started analyzing them to probably degrees that weren't necessarily that healthy. And it was very simple analysis stuff. Like that was weird. Like my thoughts, I was thinking a lot while I was drunk, but they weren't very many. It was like the same thoughts over and over, with like slight different variations for like hours. Good job, brain. So I felt like I became substantially dumber when I was drunk. Is what it is, I guess. Yeah, oh good, we have to talk to another dude. All the best commissions. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, anyways, so I for the first time in my life, I was like, hey, I was actually enjoying just staring at people and like doing the people watchings, right? And trying to imagine the reasons people was here and like looking at people's interactions with the people at their table, etc., etc. And never have enjoyed that before, but now I did enjoy it in that instance. And it's also something like I can I think part of the reason my brain worked around it, like at the time and in hindsight also, like because that happened once, I'd be more open to the idea of people watching when not drunk because of the fact that I know that people in a bar probably also don't give two flying fucks about people staring at them. So, yeah, that's basically what it was. I stared at them. I stared at people in a bar and thought about nonsense things, trying to project my thoughts and onto them and adapting to what they were. The interesting thing was, as far as like inhibitions goes, is like I had the thoughts, and even like Kelly at one point was like, she was like, "You want to go mess with people?" I don't know. Kelly's a funny drunk, but anyways, Kelly wanted to like mess with people, and I'm just like, nah. But even though like, despite I said like no to that, which is interesting because I did have thoughts in my mind at the time of being like, you know, I could resolve these thoughts in my head of the questions of like, are those two guys that like there was this group, there was this table, there was two dudes, two like pretty generic, attractive looking white dudes, sitting at a table, and they were like very like interactive with each other, but then like occasionally one of them would leave, and I don't remember exactly like where they went or if I noticed where they went to when one of the other left. But like they would just like go fucking flat out silent and sit there like staring at their phone or whatever the fuck was silent, but then like very interactive with each other when they were there. And like I don't remember what Kelly thought about what those people were, but I was like, I think they're probably gay. And I could have just fucking like, I had the thought in my head. I was like, you know, you could just go ask them, dude. But like which the weird thing is though, like despite having that thought recurring in my head, being like, I can just go ask them, my brain refused to do that. Like I was just like, no, I will not do this. I will not ask the peoples. Which is weird because isn't that like something I would think if my inhibitions are reduced, would I not be more likely to do that? But I felt like more stubborn in that moment. Like, no, I will not go and ask these people if they're a couple. It could have come off the wrong way. I don't know, but that was not the concern in the moment. Like coming off in the wrong way, and I do recall thinking, it was like, do I care? Is it like a thing? Like what? Because I was thinking in the moment, like, why do I care? Why do I not? Because I did have the thought in the moment while drunk. I was like, why do I not care? But I didn't have the capability to fully like think through these thoughts. I was like, why do I care so much? Why do I not want to? Like, I was trying to analyze myself of like, why do I not want to go and ask these people, despite the fact that I'm giving way less of a fuck than I ever would. And I don't remember what I thought at the time, but I remember having some thought along the lines of like, I can deal with, like, I was able to be like, yeah, if I say this the wrong way and it comes out the wrong way, I can deal with that by saying this in turn, right? But like, I don't know, something about it, I was just like, nah, I don't want to do it. I just wanted to watch, and it was weird. So, like, I don't know, it was weird. It was a weird experience because like I simultaneously felt very not inhibited, like in the I don't give a fuck sense about anything, and I will just stare at people at will. But I also was stubbornly like, I do not want to interact with people while I was in this state. And it wasn't like paranoia about how people would perceive me, because I didn't care. I really didn't care. I just like I just didn't want to put in the effort or something while in that state of mind. It was very odd. But anyways, it was a very odd state of mind. And I got really weirdly reflective of myself at the same time during it. And I'd say a relatively negative way, because the number one thing is like part of the philosophical reason why I didn't like alcohol, or still don't, you know, I understand it more. It's still not something I want to actively go out and do for the same philosophical reason. It's because like on a conceptual level of something that like a chemical that
Thank you for
reduces your inhibitions, right? It's a social lubricant. I, as someone who has throughout my life has tried to improve my social abilities actively, and I think I've been fairly successful at that. I don't think I'm perfect. I don't think I am a social butterfly, to say the least, now or anything. But I am much better at doing it than I used to, and I see a lot of value out of doing it, much more than I used to in the past. Conceptually, on a philosophical level, relying on a chemical to make it so I can do that rather than just me being able to use my own like force of will, my own motivation to actively choose to recognize and be like, I am limiting myself in this interaction by like being like, I don't want to say this thing to this person out of worry for them having a bad reaction. Instead, I want to be able to, rather than relying on alcohol to act as a social lubricant, to say those things that I might want to say. I just recognize those moments when I'm, you know, having those thoughts and like a little bit paranoid of them and going, fuck it, take the risk. What the chance they murder you was relatively low, right? And you're probably never going to meet them again. May as well ask this person the question when you have the opportunity, kind of thing, right? And that's what I want to act like in social situations. And I want to have that power over myself to be able to do that when I want to do it, and not have to rely on a chemical that just modifies my brain's chemical balance to put me in a weird ass state of mind where I just stop giving a fuck about anything. But at the same, so I still think that, and I like having been drunk and having experienced what it's like, I still think that I still have that same belief and desire for myself, but I was frustrated for two reasons. One, because it felt so distinctly different in how I was interacting with just my friends alone, that it annoyed me that I couldn't. It annoyed me to the extent where it felt like I couldn't act in this way. Of course, we have 158 resin, by the way. I couldn't act in this way without being drunk. Like, it was a distinct state of mind where I don't think I can act the same way while not being drunk, right? And having just mentioned my philosophy to you, that's frustrating to me because, like, I specifically want to be able to have the power to act in that way and, like, remove my own inhibitions, right? Kind of thing, without having to use a chemical to do it. But it felt so distinctly different that I don't think I have the power to do that. And that's a weird feeling, right? That's a weird feeling. To have this philosophical conflict of not liking alcohol for the very thing that people like it for, and it does, but it's frustrating because it managed to still make me feel like it did something in a way to my brain and like to how I interact with people that I don't think I have the power to do without it. So I get it. So the nice part is, like, that frustrates me on like a philosophical level, but I get why people want to be drunk now, because it did feel that distinctly different. I do also have a perspective now. I feel like a lot of people that are like hardcore, like they drink a lot. I think there's a lot of people that I feel like they go out with their friends. Like, it was a really fun experience interacting with my friends with all of us being drunk. It was a unique experience. I'll remember it forever, probably. And I like normally don't interact with these people while drunk, right? What do we do for 8 minutes while our resin refreshes? Like, it was unique and really fun to interact with them in a way I don't like interact with them normally, right? And I'd probably do it again if we're ever like in person again, in particular. I'd be down to get a little bit drunk with my friends again and just be stupid, gapely dumbasses, and I'm a dumbass that just stares at the stars while Brett giggles incessantly and Kelly rambles about stupidity, or not stupidity. I don't want to say specifics because the things that she said I don't want to say without her permission, so I'm not going to say the things she said. But it was really funny. Kelly's great when she's drunk. She's fucking hilarious. But anyways, point is, and I do Abyss and Weapons only. Yes. Point is, being drunk is interesting, philosophically frustrating to me, but I get it now. And I think that people that drink a lot, that are the type to be like, I need a drink when I'm out with people socially. I think those people have accidentally like psychologically trick themselves into thinking they have less power than they do. I value the experience of being drunk with my friends because of the contrast of how it was a different way of having fun and with people I like being around than I normally would have, right? But like, I think a lot of people just like assume, like they assume like they have fun with people, like they meet new people and make new friends while drunk, and like they just naturally always drink in social situations. And I think a lot of people just assume that they need alcohol to enjoy the company of certain people. And I think if you're the person to do that, this is me maybe taking a hot take, so I apologize if I'm insulting anyone. It's not my intention. My hope would be like maybe my perspective on this can hopefully maybe make you try to experience things differently in a way that might be healthier for your life or whatever. So I'm not trying to say, oh my god, your way of life is terrible, be a better person. No, that's not what I'm saying. So, point is I think there's a lot of people that are overly reliant on being drunk and like drinking alcohol in social situations because it just happens to be how they grew up and how they organically made friends while being drunk, and they think that they need to be drunk while interacting with people. And I don't think that was not the perspective I took away from that at all. It was a unique experience. It was fun. I get why people want to do that sometimes, or even often, but I also don't think you should operate on a perspective of like you need to drink to be able to interact with people you enjoy being around. And if you feel like, if you really truly believe that you have to like be drunk to like be friends with this person, to interact with this person socially, I don't know how much of a real friend you are. So that's my thoughts on being drunk. Anyways, and the day after I got drunk, we went to the art museum, and that was pretty meh. that was and then we had like one more lunch with Kelly on the weekend before they left. They left on Saturday, the first day of our convention. As far as the convention it goes, to talk about my thoughts on LTX itself. Can this resin ever come back? What am I doing? I'm just wandering around doing literally nothing. Oh yeah, as Abyss on weapons only. I'm not doing Abyss and weapons only in this stream because my ping tends to be more. You see, yeah, the ping just spiked to 300 milliseconds. Good timing, game. The ping tends to be more inconsistent while I'm streaming, and the ping is already annoying. Like at 150 milliseconds on EU servers, I notice it. It's annoying the degree of like to which I notice like the ability to switch between characters. It feels bad relative to poems only and everything at 150 ping. And when it starts fluctuating going to 300 milliseconds, it's bad. And also, I'm not able to do AV1 encoding right now. So if I start doing combat things, you're just not being able to see anything. So without the AV1 encoder functioning on YouTube, so the point is I don't really want to stream it right now. I've also been streaming for like 2 hours already. So, you know, we don't have time, is my point. Is what it is. I'll do probably more Abyss on weapons only in the next episode, which might be in a week or two from now. Is all it comes down to. I guess I don't have to do anything now that I think about it. Claim that, yay. Do I have wishes? No, I don't have wishes. Well, I do have wishes, not that I'm going to use. You know what, let's go find a Shrine of Depths while we're waiting for our resin to refresh, right? We got like 3 minutes. We can find a Shrine of Depths in 3 minutes. Let's go here. So, Yarp, the convention itself. So, convention itself is, again, back to like, hey, I'm not a super social person, but I can interact with people, and I see the value of meeting new people. Convention was interesting, right? Because it's like, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of just interacting with people that are very like-minded, but it was a very good way of going somewhere where like, wow, there's like thousands of people here that share very similar like hobbies and enjoy similar things to I enjoy, and it gives you that foundational shared thing that it makes it a lot easier to interact with people, right? Oh, dang it, I've gotten that one. Okay, where's another one? Let's go over here, I guess. No, wait. I don't know. Okay. It gives you this like it gives you that foundation of like a shared hobby that like breaks the ice really easily. This is like a simple example where I was waiting, and there's a lot of waiting in line, right? There's like 6,000 people at the convention, and there's some things they could have done better, like which Linus acknowledged they're going to try to. They improved line management the second day. Lines were a bit of a mess the first day, but he talked about it on his podcast. They're basically like, yeah, the lines were a mess, and it's basically because like conventions haven't happened in the past 3 years because of COVID, and a lot of the staff that were like rehired or new hires that are not used to dealing with things at conventions and dealing with lines. So whether they be volunteers or paid staff at the convention center. So what basically ended up happening is the lines were a fucking mess. But point is, there's lots of lines regardless of... Down I go. There's lots of lines regardless of line management problems. And the main thing to do in a line is talk to the people that are around you that probably share some amount of similar interests, whether they are younger than you, whether they are older than you. You are at a tech convention together. You have a mutual interest in that you chose to come to this convention for some reason, right? And therefore you can very easily start conversations with people. I unfortunately did not start a lot of conversations with people, but I'll get into why that was in a little bit, which is the biggest downside of the convention. It's specifically because I was doing the LAN and the convention at the same time, which, in my opinion, they should run those events separately, is what my end conclusion will be. But thoughts on 4.0? I'm going to finish with talking about the convention, then I'll talk about 4.0, I think. And where the frick is there a dang? Did I even check? I thought there's a shrine somewhere nearby here, right? Was there one over here that I just ignored? Oh, I already got it. All right, cool. What about the one over here? I've never gotten this Wave Rider waypoints. I probably haven't gotten the shrine over here. All right. I went to the LTX convention, Linus Tech Tips convention, Sir Kekvin. It was basically just a big tech community convention. There's a lot of like YouTubers there, a lot of creators there, and in the tech space specifically, I was not on the creator panel or anything because I am not a tech YouTuber. I would actually not mind being a tech YouTuber. I think I have plenty of knowledge to potentially make tech videos, but it'd have to be a separate channel. Anyways. Blam. Gimme. Here we go. Convention was really good overall. I think they did a fantastic job, but it's definitely a social event, right? Like, a big part of the point is not like, oh my god, look at these like panels. You can like, the part of the point is like, yes, you can meet some of the people there. Like, I got to meet Linus very briefly. I got to meet Luke. Got to meet Dankpods. Dankpods I actually talked with like for a short bit. Very like not meaningful because there was like a line I wasn't gonna impose. Like, a lot of people were there waiting to talk to him or other people, right? But yeah, there we go. So I got to meet, the star people, but I'm not someone who gets very starstruck. So, like, I wasn't like super like, oh god, I gotta meet this person, this person. I just was able to by circumstance, mostly by being able to see them in the LAN area where there was less people. But yoink, give me the goodies.
If only I stumbled upon lab supplies as often.
And what do we got we got 26. Let's go see what we got from the tree. What's it saying? 40 resin? Yes, I will convert that resin shortly. Thank you. Lots of people there, lots of lines, but a lot of time spent just in lines, right? Like, waiting to go into... Oh yeah, the example's gonna be offer. There we go. Oh, we're one thing away from 2 wishes. Oh, it's fine. I don't think we're at a 4-star anyway, so I don't think I'm gonna farm for that. Maybe I will. We got like 45 minutes left in the stream. Maybe I will farm a little bit for it. Oh, maybe I am near a 4-star. Nope, never mind. I lied. Maybe. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, let's go spend our resin first, though. So, jealous there isn't any good conventions in Canada. Kekvin. LTX. LTX was in Vancouver. If you didn't know, Kekvin, Vancouver's in Canada. You could have come. Alright, you can come next year, assuming there is one next year. There probably will be, but that's not my decision, though. That's the wrong thing. So, lots of lines. But yeah, the main specific anecdotal example I can give, is there was a VR laser tag booth that had a fairly long line. Like, probably had to wait 30 plus minutes in line to partake in it. Basically, like 4 people were in this big like VR area, putting on headsets, and they would play VR laser tag together. And it was cool. It was a cool experience. That and I have complaints about the hardware of the kit, but that's like a problem with HTC's product, not a problem with the thing at the convention. The tracking wasn't great. It's not a product I would buy. Anyways, it was a cool experience because even if I like VR and I've used VR, but I've never done like VR laser tag because that's something that requires a very big physical area to like dedicate to VR and have multiple people with multiple headsets. Like it's not something most people could ever experience outside of the context of like a convention. So it's a great like convention thing to do. Anyways, long line and happened to be ahead. Like, didn't talk to much people because like I'm not naturally like I gotta strike a conversation with everyone around me. But when we got towards the end of the line, the people were like, "Oh, you're a group of 2? Okay, there's the 2 people ahead of us. You're also a group of 2, and it's a 4-player thing. So are you good with you 4 being together in the match?" And we're like, "Yeah, cool." And then, hey, now it's time for a conversation. We're gonna go farm Emblem, I guess, because I don't feel like thinking about what else I want to farm. Actually, wait. Should I farm? I kind of want to farm Blizzard Stray. No, I'm lazy. I'm just gonna farm Emblem. Yes, I will stay hydrated. And what was I saying? Crap. I read chat and I got distracted. Whoops. Oh, there's a dude. There's a dude and I assume his wife. We're in line. I was like, hey, have you tried VR before? Because I, as someone who tried VR, had like preconceptions going in about what the hardware experience, what I would, like standards I would expect for like a high quality VR experience. And I was just curious, like, hey, you guys tried VR before at all? Because like I'm sure a lot of people in line there hadn't tried VR at all. And their first experience trying VR might actually be in this, laser tag thing. So I was curious. And they had tried VR, whatever, and like struck up a conversation. It's like, yeah, and then this dude was probably like at least 10 years older than me. He probably looked older than that, but so like not someone you would naturally just interact with on the street, right? For no reason at all. And the convention social level gives you a reason to interact with people because you have, again, that foundation of you're both here for the same reason. You're both in the line for the same reason. The barrier's already been broken. You have no fault for not interacting with these people, or you have no good logic for not like interacting with these people on some level to like, not like, oh, you're gonna make permanent friends necessarily, but like, so you can have like interesting conversations and get perspectives from people that you might not be able to interact with normally, and that's valuable. It wasn't that meaningful of a conversation or anything. It wasn't like anything mind blowing, that's for sure. It was just like, hey, you tried VR, asked him what headsets he tried, blah 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 blah. It's a 40-hour drive across the country. I'm good. I mean, Kekvin, airplanes exist, right? I mean, you can drive across Canada if you want to, Mr. Keck, but you can also definitely use an airplane. I imagine your flights, because you'd be Canada to Canada, would be substantially cheaper than my flights were, based on my friend that is in Canada, and they flew also to Vancouver at the same time as us. Their flights were not that expensive. It was mostly just hotel costs and whatever, so which you'd have to pay for anyways if you were driving or not. So, I don't know. Point is, I wouldn't let the flight cost stop you from going to a convention across the country. But, anyways, on a social level, convention great. I didn't get it realistically that interesting. I don't really know who would need that on this account, but I don't know, it could be good for making Dendro Traveler do some damages or something. I don't feel like I got to fully experience, to cut things short. Oh yeah, the LAN, by the way, big computer convention, doing basically just playing random games with people. So instead, the LAN was like, or the convention center, just general like tech things with different things going on, different booths to go towards from different companies that were showcasing different things, had their own little gimmick in their booth, whatever, to do something. It was all put together really well. There's plenty of things to do there. If there's a line somewhere you wanted to go that was bigger than you wanted, you could probably find somewhere else to have fun, right? And not wait. It wasn't just line simulator, to be clear, right? Like if you were just waiting in line the whole time, it was mostly your fault, in my opinion, at that place, because there's plenty of things to do. And The problem is there's so many things to do that in conjunction, because I also did the LAN, where throughout the entire weekend there's also like, here, you can play a bunch of random fun games with people that you've never met before, right? Maybe try new games you haven't tried before that are well-known or not well-known, and here's some like fun tournaments with prizes, right? So I paid to have that LAN and brought my laptop to do the stuff in the LAN, while also doing stuff in the main convention area. It's all in the same building, but there's a dedicated like big like quarter of the area was the LAN area. And you ain't got airplane money? Go f yourself, Kekvin. You literally got $5,000 from Mihoyo's like program that they ran. Don't BS me. I don't got airplane money. You don't got airplane money. I'm not saying you have to buy an airplane, motherfucker. You just have to buy an airplane ticket. It's a few $100s. You got $5,000 from Mihoyo. Go F yourself. You don't got airplane money. If you put that $5,000 in the bank, just as like, you could put that 5K in the bank just as like 2-3 years, where like if you're doing like one convention a year or whatever, right? You could save that for like vacations for a convention every year kind of thing, and that would be like 3 years worth of conventions, just that one alone. So don't F with me, you don't got airplane money. When you got $5,000 recently. I can't spend the $200 on an airplane ticket when I just got $5,000 from Mihoyo for making Genshin Impact videos. BS. Sorry. I gotta call out your BS there. I don't know what your living situation is, to be clear. I don't know the bills you got, but I imagine you probably could have afforded with that $5,000 to get a plane ticket. That seems like an excuse, Mr. Keck. So, not saying you have to do it with the convention, not trying to pressure you into it, I'm just saying. This is a little bit of an odd point to make when you got $5,000 recently. Also some garbage. I don't think I got anything relevant there. But yeah, anyways, the balance of having to manage being like, okay, what the F do I want to do? Like, actually, do they still have, let me like try to bring up the schedule. Let's see if they still have the schedule up. Alright, new window. LTX Expo schedule LAN. I have no idea if they still have the page up. They do. Alright, good. Alright, LTX schedule meet and greet. And then LTX schedule, just schedule LTX. Alright, here we go. So, and then where's the LTX map? I gotta bring up the LTX map, because just to illustrate the number of things that I had to do. I'm next levels of stingy. Oh, I am too. I would not have spent nearly as much money as I did in Vancouver if it weren't for the fact that Kelly was there and just going to places I wouldn't normally go and spent a lot more money than I would normally buy. But it was fun. LTX 2023 map. Let's see. Map. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a visual illustration of all the things to do, right? So, all right, at this freaking convention. So, where's my OBS? There's the OBS browser window. Linux Tech Expo. There we go. Well, that's not exactly centered. There we go. All right. So here's the floor map, right? And I'm gonna configure my windows a little bit, right? So there's like, see all this? So the whale land is like right over here, right? So this is the whale land, and then the whale land schedule, right? So the entire weekend, we got the land schedule. So like from 8 a.m. you can bring your computers in, people are there, and then there's events that are constantly running, and these are events where you can like win prizes. They got tournaments you're running, Team Fortress tournaments, Halo tournaments, where you can win prizes and just play in a team of people that you haven't met before, but like you enjoy Halo. You can like, right, mystery game tournaments. Those are really fun. Midnight Madness, like this went from the morning until midnight, right? The main convention area went until it was only open, like for the general area, it was only open until 6 p.m. But the whale land went until midnight for Saturday night. But we did have to leave at normal closing time on Sunday. So this was the first day, right? So all this potential things like, oh, I want to like, so I had like a list of things like, I think I want to do this. I think I want to do this potentially. I think I would be down to play Beat Saber against Linus. I was not able to because one, there was a lot of people that wanted to do that. And two, I had my glasses on, not contacts, and I did not want to use the Oculus Quest with my glasses. It's fine. Like you can do it. I just don't prefer VR with my glasses on. And because of how many people wanted to do it, I was just like, eh. And I would absolutely, Linus is incredible at Beat Saber. I would have gotten fucking wrecked at Beat Saber. I love Beat Saber, not as good as him. Anyways, and like, here's the main convention. Here's the meet and greet, right? So like meet and greet going on here. There is the meet and greet. I don't even remember where the meet and greet area is somewhere. Jesus Christ. But there's the main stage area. So like the main stage, there's all the main stage events going on with different people, right? The first day and the second day. So like things like, hey, well, the price is wrong, a fun little event. Have phone reach peak boring. I went to that one. You know, the future of handheld gaming, and then like the WAN show. That's their podcast. They did that live at the show, right? So all these things that potentially want to do, and then on top of that, you have all the booths that you might want to see, right? You've got all this. So like, and there's so many cool things to do there. I did not experience a lot of the things I potentially could have experienced because my time was caught between, okay, I want to do this at the LAN, I want to try to do this here. Oh, there's lines here. What do I do now? Oh, I wanted to do this. So what? Oh, like, oh, good God. Like, awesome convention. A lot of things to do. Like, if you were bored at the convention, it was your fault, in my opinion. The problem was I did the LAN, and I wanted to do a bunch of things at the LAN and at the convention center in the main convention area. Like, my attention was so split between different things. Like, me and Josh, I don't know what we did on Saturday. Like, Saturday, the second half of Saturday, we were just at the LAN. We played games, whatever, and it was fun. But, like, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., I don't know what we did. We spent a little bit of time in the Midway area here where there's, like, little mini-game carnival games to do. That had like a prize drawing at the end, and like we sat in here for one main stage thing, and then we like walked around and barely did anything in the booths other than walking around and seeing them, and somehow we like lost 8 hours that way. Like I don't understand what happened. So it like that day just like we somehow did nothing in the main convention area the first 8 hours. Like, because like we're caught between doing things in the whale ad and being like, I don't know what to do. Do you want to do this? Even though like I had a vague plan, but that vague plan fell apart to garbage. And like I don't know, the second day did far more things the second day. I was part of the Rocket League tournament on the second day, and I won the Rocket League tournament. That was fun. I got a LTT stubby screwdriver as a prize for it, and like playing Rocket League with people I'd never played Rocket League before was really fun, and like especially the disparate skill levels is like, especially Rocket League, it was a little bit of I beat people because I was just better than them. They were like much lower ranked than me. It was a competitive game, to be clear, but it was still fun like playing with people that were like not ranked as well as I was and trying to deal with that. Yeah, I don't know, it's just fun, right? It's just like so many things to do that I 100% feel like I didn't get to experience either of these things anywhere close to fully, right? So many things to do. I don't think I got to anywhere near fully experience the value of the LAN. Like the LAN could have been so much more fun than I had. Like I had so much fun with like the Rocket League, and so much I had fun with doing like the Halo CE, but I didn't do a lot of things I potentially wanted to do because I was like, all right, I want to do these things. I want to see this main stage thing. I want to go find time to go somewhere over here. I didn't participate in the tournament at the very end of the LAN that was like during a very fun game. They did a fun game called Sticky Cats, and they gave away $1,000 Newegg gift card to the winner of the mystery game tournament that's the wrong one, at the very end of the LAN. And this MVP tournament, which lasted 2 hours, but me and Josh decided, I was like, I would like to be part of the tournament, but honestly, like, I'm not going to be available for the tournament because I wanted to go before the freaking convention ends. I want to go experience some of the things I didn't experience, at least some of them. And we were able to. I was able to go to some of the booths that I wanted to go to, and we were able to complete like a passport sticker book to that, like a little collectible nice thing. It was fantastic. But like, too many things to do when I had the LAN things I wanted to do and the convention things to do in 2 days of time. So wasn't really a gaming convention kind of thing. It was a tech convention, and the Whale LAN was gaming focused because it was a LAN where you're playing games with people. But the main convention was just like general technology and like creator focused. Like, yeah. So, anyways, point is, it was great. Good job to Linus of Linus Tech Tips and his awesome team. He's done something really special. Next time if I go, they I think he said he is probably planning on doing. Am I done on resin wise? I think I am. I think he said he is planning on doing like Whale Land separate. I am very much interested in doing like a Whale Land that I go to separately. That is not in conjunction with the convention, and I also am interested in going to the convention again potentially, just for the convention, so I can actually experience it more. But I also think I'm more inclined to do the LAN. The LAN was more fun, I think, than the convention was for me. It was a more interesting experience. The convention was more chaotic, and like most of the people, like I met Linus, Luke, and whatever. Most of the people I was able to do, I met at the LAN area because there was just less people there. Like otherwise, the only way to meet them would be like in the massive crowd of 6,000 people in the main convention area, right? So. Anyways, there is some pieces I want to level up, I think. Where is... I got it in the recent video. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Let's do this. Maybe we'll get invites from Genshin to the next Genshin IRL event. Maybe. I mean, if they're doing a Genshin IRL event and there's creators there, it's probably on us, I imagine, to... Cool. To contact them rather than them contacting us, by the way. Like, if there's a Genshin convention or whatever, I'd probably have to contact them if I want to have in the expectation of things. I'm still going to level that up, to be clear. That's a 4-line. It's not like it's a bad artifact at level 4 already. I just think there might be other artifacts I should level first. What did we get? Oh yeah, we got the Dendrogal, but we don't really need that right now for any reason. HP timepiece could be good. That's okay. Freaking I have this. I have no idea how long I freaking have that piece. Alright, let's see. I think I got about 500 feathers to level up. Got an emblem double crit piece. We've got 50 noblesse pieces. We got we got 2 feathers in gladiator. Got this piece. Actually kind of do want to level this piece, because if this piece rolls well into crit and I don't need the 20% ER on Bennett, this could actually be a upgrade for Bennett potentially. But it really just depends on how much I need that 20 ER on Bennett. Bennett's at... I kind of cut out this section from the video I released today. Bennett is... How? What?
Where did that come from?
How's Bennett at 266 ER? I was like 90% sure Bennett was at like 230 ER. Is there something? No. There's nothing going on here. Why is he at... What? How's he at 266 ER? What? What's happening? I'm confused. It says I have... No, he has sense with ER. That seems correct. How do I have that much ER? 17, 10, that's 27. Math is hard. 20, but why am I braining 80? We'll just round up to 80. 90. And then, okay. That's probably more ER than I need. C2. That's why. Yeah, when his HP is below 70. That's why. Okay. Yep. Okay. That makes sense. Well, particularly, I guess, I forgot his C2 gives him ER. Thank you for that call out. If they don't pay for my flight, I'm not going. Yeah. Alright, so 4.0 thoughts, I guess. I said this was going to be in this. Good lord, took me 5 years to do 4.0 thoughts. This is just how my brain do. This is why I made this whole stream. The reason I said this stream is I need to talk about some things. I knew I was going to talk about some things, and this way I can talk about these things. Other than in passing reference now, I'm not going to talk about like the entirety of LTX again, right? So, this is the stream where I talked about LTX in depth. This is essentially what it is. Honestly, not even that in depth, but what was it? Yeah. So let's level up this. I think this is the most relevant piece that could actually be an upgrade for a character right now. I don't know, there's a lot of pieces that could be potentially usable, and good lord, man. Oh, good lord, all the pieces I have. Alright, yeah, let's just level up that. You can probably get away with... Ooh. Hey, nice. We can probably get away with less ER than it, right? 20 less ER is a bit rough, but it's probably going to be fine. Okay, I'm now less enthused about this, but... the HP, you know what? It increases his healing. Although he doesn't heal at all if you don't have his burst up, so I think I'd rather overcap on ER than I would have extra HP rolls, to be very clear. Yeah, Kekvin's been here for a while. So yeah, Genshin 4.0 things. No. Okay, bye-bye. There's a world where I should still keep this, by the way. There's not enough HP scaling characters that they're releasing as 4 stars for me to think it's relevant enough. Right, like I could use it on Candace or something, but Candace is so ER heavy it's just not relevant. And also C0 Candace, so no. Yeah, basically. And she's like the only relevant HP scaler other than like, you know... okay, I guess like Layla, that is a piece that might make sense on Layla. But I'd rather go full tank Layla. Like if I'm going to build Layla, I think I'm going to build Layla, by the way, first. I want to do full tank Layla just for the funsies. Plus it's a character that's not a fucking monster character that can build on weapons only to be able to not have to not farm the monster to me. And then this way I have a generic shielder if I just feel like having a shielder, right? So I'm gonna build Layla. We're gonna go full like tank Layla and see how fat we can make Layla. I have no idea. I've not done any calcs. I could do calcs. It would take literally a minute to calculate how much HP I can get. But my plan would be to do 2-piece HP, 2-piece HP, as much HP as possible to maximize the Key of Caution suit buff and maximize her tanky Layla-ness. So, crit stats would not be bad because she does like convert some HP into damage, right, with her passive, I believe. Yep, damage dealt by this increases by 1.5% of her HP, which is not much. So, yeah, again, it is technically relevant maybe to put Noblesse on her instead of 2-piece HP, 2-piece HP. In fact, probably better in many teams to put Noblesse on her instead of 2-piece HP, 2-piece HP. I don't care. Because I want... If it doesn't roll well enough, I would rather not say... I'd rather save it for other artifacts, right? Like my freaking 3 double crit Noblesse pieces. We have a 0 dead stat Hutao piece here. Interesting. Alright, what other piece is the most relevant that I need to level up that could actually be used on somebody? I've never leveled up Xingqiu's timepiece to level 20. I totally forgot. That's funny. Alright. I maybe should just do that, but that's boring. So, yeah. There you go. No attack percent double crit pieces. Don't think I need an HP double crit piece leveled up right now. Okie dokie. Built DPS Dory today for a vid. Worst idea of my entire life. I mean, DPS Dory is... You can do fun things with Dory that aren't DPS. Like just putting crit stats on her. You can build her for Hyper Bloom is interesting. I think Tars Blammo had a really interesting video. I think he like... I think it was named "I Built Dory into a Yo-Yo of Death" or something. That was a really fun example of using Dory in a way that's potentially relevant and functional. Why? Okay, I don't. What do I level up, guys? I don't know. Pick. Want me to level up one of the 100 feathers I have? Like the feathers can obviously be useful. Otherwise, I got this circlet. We can level up this circlet. This circlet probably has the highest potential to be relevant, I imagine. I don't know who I'd need it on right now, but we don't have a crit rate Wanderer's Troop circlet currently, and if it rolls more into crit, that would be, you know, nice. Also have this emblem piece, which, do we already have a crit damage? No, we don't have a crit damage circlet with emblem already, so I have this emblem circlet. I have this Shimenawa's crit damage circlet. Also don't have a Shimenawa's crit damage circlet leveled up. I have this Noblesse piece, but it's probably not going to be relevant. I don't know, pick the Dendro Goblet. What do I have for I'm not putting a Dendro Goblet in Yaya. I prefer the healing. I prefer HP for healing. Where... can be freaking like if I'm gonna use a Dendro Goblin, I'm gonna use an onset Dendro Goblin. Like I have 2 onset Dendro Goblins. Like one of these would roll well enough that I'd use this one or this one. This is technically an onset Dendro Goblin 2 for Yaya. Like in what world do I use this on Yaya? I also have this too. Why do I have so many freaking Dendro Goblins, dude? Oh my god. What in the world? All right. This one can go away. Circlets. We want a little more suffering. All right. Let's go. Thank you, Noodle. Blam. No. Blam. There we go. Well, you wanted suffering. Whoops, whoops, I just clicked on outside my window. Why? I really wanted not crit because, like, now I have to level it to 20. Right, I'm not gonna throw it away. If it was not crit there, I was just like, alright, trash can, right? I hate when things do that. I fucking hate, like, the reason, because, right, it takes so much fucking XP to level, like, I might have enough to level this to 20, right? But, like, I'd rather not level this to 20 today, because I don't necessarily need it, so, like, the only value of leveling to 20 is to see if it gets the last crit roll, essentially. And, like, it's still probably something, because it's my only crit rate Wanderer's Troop Circlet, I should probably still keep it, even if it doesn't roll crit, right? Like, particularly if it rolls EM, like, or if it rolls flat attack. But, like, the 2 flat def is extraordinarily just sad, and unlucky, and insulting. And then I hated that it rolled crit damage in that level 16, because that's what's like, okay, a circlet that has 3 rolls of crit in a subset, in my opinion, is a good circlet. Like, in general, again, evaluate circlets based on, like, stat value, not just crit value. But, like, these circlets at a base, this circlet, well, this is an EM circlet, this circlet as a base is good, ignoring the attack and ER, is good because it has 2 extra crit rolls. So, like, this could still be a properly good circlet with another crit roll. I just, like, would have rather not it be crit damage, and then I could just, like, if it was defense again, I was like, cool, throw it in the trash. I fucking hate when it always, like, does this shit where it's, like, rolls shitty, and then it gives you 1 roll that's good, and you have to take it to 20 to see if you actually want to keep it or not, because it takes so much fucking fodder to level things at 20. Ugh. Like, I have so many artifacts I want to level up right now, I don't want to constantly be in this situation of having to level artifacts to level 20 to see if they're worth keeping. I want to level them to 16 and, like, throw them away if they're not worth keeping at that point. But now I have to. Ugh. God, it's so awful. Whatever, I'm just gonna finish it because don't want to think about it. And it's still not like it's an amazing circlet. If it rolls crit damage, to be clear. It rolled mid enough that this is not an amazing circlet regardless. It will definitely be worth keeping if it rolls crit damage, but it's not an amazing circlet regardless at this point, so it's not exciting, right? Okay, fuck this circlet. No. Screw this circlet. Screw that piece. Don't care. I should probably still keep it, to be clear. But I don't think I have a need for it right now. So, I don't know. I got insulted by this circlet's rolls. I got insulted by this circlet's rolls. F those circlets. Screw circlets. Alright. Mora check? Oh god. Yeah, I didn't even think about my Mora. Jesus Christ, what's my Mora at? Oh, Christ almighty. Oh, Christ. Alright, you know what? Sure, let's go for crit damage defense. Crit damage HP defense. Crit rate, crit... Alright, let's try this. You know what? Let's try this. I want 1 not cope artifact. Do I bother? This is 25. It's already the same CV, right? But I'm potentially sacrificing 2 ER rolls for the benefit of an extra, like, for the benefit of 1 EM and like 1 more crit roll potentially if it rolls crit again. It did roll crit again. Okay, min roll. Fuck you, game. Okay. I don't know. It's weird. See, that could be an upgrade with the last crit roll, right? It's a 30 CV, barely 30 because of the low rolls, but it's insulting. It's really insulting that this started with a max roll, by the way. You know, barely 30 CV. It's like 31. So tiny bit more crit value and get an EM roll, which is not irrelevant necessarily. I don't know, man.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
Why does literally nothing changed? Did I? Oh, I equipped it on Layla. I'm a twat. Dumbass. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Nothing changed. Yeah, because nothing changed. Like, no. No, I'm gonna keep the old one. I'll keep that artifact to be clear. Oops, that's not what I wanted. It could be good, like I was just talking about for Layla, right? If it could be decent for her. She doesn't necessarily dislike crit stats, but not the most relevant thing in the world. Defense 81 indeed. Alrighty, well that was exciting artifact day. Alright. I think we have nothing weekly left to do in this account. Yeah, I think I'm all done with Genshins for the week. I could do Abyss, but I think to end off the stream, I'm gonna do some Star Rail things because I can show you my built Star Rail. Actually, no. Before we enter the Genshin, I'm gonna talk about 4.0 stuff. They announced like 4.0 things in the game, or do I have to bring up external resources to reference things? Oh, that's the wrong button, brain. Notices. Let's see. They did not. Okay. Okay, they said 4.0 preview. Oh, they do. Can I open this? Blam. Let's see what the preview page says. Oh, this is loud. Get bigger. Music. 4.0 thoughts on music. As normal, seems like music is going to be banging. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot. Alright. And switch to... It's still very loud to me, but I lowered it for you guys. Let me know if it needs to be louder. But it's loud for me, but I lowered it for you. This music, man, it's fantastic. Music is probably the #1 thing Genshin absolutely nails, in my opinion. Alright, browser window. It's too zoomed in. Let me fix that. Alright, should be close enough. Can I click on things?
I wonder what my dear sister
Oh, it's so loud.
Right now. Missing me to death, I'm sure.
I gotta lower the volume. That's too loud for me. Where's my Firefox? There we go. Alright, there we go. Lowered it, and then increase it a little bit for you guys. Hopefully that's fine. Alright, so Lenny, he seems fine. I mentioned him before. If you like him, he's got really... The animation quality in most of the new characters, not Hydro Traveler, seems really, really good. I really like what they're doing animation-wise. Feminette's relatively simple, but... Anyways, Lenny looks really cool. If you like him, I don't think I'm going to pull for him. I talked earlier, like, the only temptation I have is actually for C6 Lynette for weird infusion shenanigans with her C6. But I don't want to risk my guarantee. Like, I would almost assuredly have to get Lenny, basically, using my guarantee to even have a small chance at getting Lynette, right? So, no. Basically,
to spend some time at the bottom of the sea in peace.
Lynette seems decent as a free character, usable. I really just like that her grouping ability is tied to her C1. That's an extreme dick move, Mahoyo. But she does have a taunt, so it's kind of grouping in her bursts at her C0 kit, so like she seems fine. And she has like a Yelan running ability. I like that. It's fine. Lynette has the coolest kit in the game. He's probably not very good, like multiplier-wise. He's just not amazing. But his mechanic of like stacks that change between a ratio of how much physical versus cryo damage he does is a really, really cool concept. And I want people to acknowledge that like that core concept, they could do that. You know, the people that like want characters that do multiple elements, and like there's Fatuis in the game that have like a delusion and a vision. Well, they've shown they're willing to do something that's doing multiple elements, aka physical and cryo at the same time. So, I don't know. As far as like a direction of concept for character designs, Lynette is a very strong indication of like them doing cool creative things. And so the number one thing I want to see them do moving forward for character designs is don't release 500 Baijus. Like, so many of the 3.0 patch characters were boring because they were just like slot-ins to existing teams that were variations of existing things and they didn't do anything new, right? Like, it will forever annoy me that they didn't do something simple like big Baiju EM scaling versus healing, and suddenly he's a really interesting character, right? So, anyways, and that's like a really simple change they could have done that like wouldn't have cost them anything to do as far as development, but more fundamental development things is like designing characters like Lynette. So, anyways, Zhongli is rerunning, yay. Yelan's rerunning, good character. Child's rerunning, also pretty decent character. I don't plan to pull for any of them. Did they actually show what these weapons do? Can I? No, they didn't. Alright, screw you, Mihoyo. I will say what they do. This is basically really good for Liddy. Go figure. It's his fucking signature weapon. Wow. It's fine. It looks fine. It's a 5-star weapon. It provides a whack ton of stats for the right context. Outside of the context of Linny's intended teams, it's probably a little bit hard to utilize the stats, but there are going to be teams that this bow is going to be like the best, like certain Ganyu teams this bow might be the best on, right? Because it just provides a stupid amount of stats. Do I think it's worth going for? Not necessarily, but it is running with Aqua Simulacra. So if you're someone who wants a DPS bow, and particularly if you're getting Linny anyways, it could actually be a fairly valuable weapon banner that's worth the risk for some people, right? So yeah. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck that accent was. I wasn't trying to do anything. It has weird looking words to my dumb English brain. This is the fishing weapon. It gives a whack ton of skill damage, or not skill damage. Not really a whack ton. It gives like I think 24% at R5, and more importantly has energy recharge substat. And this is a sword, by the way. And it gives 72% ER or something stupid after using a skill, or after hitting a skill with opponents. I can't remember exactly what the phrasing was. A whack ton of ER, not as good as Fav, realistically. Like, if you're concerned as just ER, not as good. But, even though not many characters care about the skill damage bonus right now, I want to illustrate to people that this is like, it's a sword and skill damage equivalent version of like, the catch. Now, it doesn't have the damage percent bonus of the catch. It's not as good as the catch. And there's no characters currently in the game that really care about this or want it. But I will confidently say that they have designed the stats on this weapon around the Hydra Archon. The Hydra Archon is probably going to be relatively energy hungry and probably do a lot of damage based on skill. I also say that because of the fact that they're doing an artifact set, right? That is a whack ton of skill damage bonus. So, yeah. I think that sword will get better over time, and I think it is worth fishing for. So, I quite like it. And it's a pipe. It's funny. So, 10 out of 10. Underground area, whatever. Lots of exploration. The exploration looks interesting. Apparently, they're showing regions. I don't know if all of these... I'd assume, like, this region... one or two of these regions reeks of not available until like 0.2 or point whatever, right? So, new bosses, they might be interesting mechanically. Numi and Ogia, I mentioned earlier in the stream, I am very... I find it hard to be optimistic on them being anything other than... I've not seen anyone point out a reason for them to be anything basically other than just a forcing you to pull for 4.0 characters mechanic. So lame, but we'll see. This boss seems really cool and interesting. I'll wait and see. Most of my thoughts on enemies are going to have to wait until I actually fight them and deal with them and see how cool they are animations-wise in-game. I know you can choose to fight one of these two bosses to get different drops, which is kind of a cool gimmick. I quite like that. And then robots all abound. I find it a little bit weird how the steampunky like design of Fontaine is not in like architecture at all. And instead it's just like, this is relatively boring architecture-wise, in my opinion, for like overworld area. And then like the robots are all steampunky. Like, why isn't the architecture steampunk? You know, it's a little bit weird to me. I don't love their like overworld design, but the underwater looks interesting. I'm a bit skeptical on the underwater, but at this point we're just going to wait and see. So, new craftables, they actually seem pretty decent. Most of them have passes, I believe that require getting healed. So again, this all leans into like things that I was talking about. The Hydra Archon earlier is probably going to drain the health of characters. The whole meta of 4.0 seems to be a lot of the characters going to release is going to be heavily incentivizing healing, and all these weapons, if you can take advantage of their passive, a lot of them are very strong. I don't remember off the top of my head what all of them do exactly, but if you can take advantage of their passive, some of them are quite strong. I believe a couple of them give really big damage percent bonuses, but it's situational, right? So they're going to be niche, but if you can take advantage of them, they're not pretty strong. I think the polearm is the most garbage one, if I recall, but I'd have to double check. Artifacts, so yeah, skill damage bonus. Again, I think the Archon is going to do most of their damage through their skill, and then their burst is going to be... I imagine with the Archon, based on what we've heard, the Archon drains the team's health to buff damage. Based on all the health draining mechanics that exist, this artifact is an indication of it. The other enemy designs, weapon designs, all indicate, I think, a lot of characters and the Archon are going to do that health draining thing. But I think the Archon, I think this would be the Archon's artifacts you'd probably put on them, because I think the Archon's damage and application will be through their skill. How exactly that'll be, we'll see. It's the biggest unknown we have, but I'm guessing based on that sword existing, based on this artifact set existing, their damage is going to be based on the skill, and then their burst is going to do the health draining and buffing, right? So their burst probably won't do much damage. It feels like the Hydra Archon is going to be Nahida-esque in that the burst does something, but it's not going to actually do damage. And instead, all the Archon's damage is going to come from the skill. I think that they're going to use this set. So, artifacts are very good. I've wanted for quite some time a skill damage set. I'm going to farm a lot of this for Yelan. I'm going to farm a lot of this for Yai. I'm going to farm a lot of this for Fischl. I'm going to be stuck in this domain for the next fucking year. And then this set, again, if the Hydra Archon is like rumored to do, and like I kind of discussed earlier, this set could literally be the best artifact set for anyone that's included in the Hydra Archon team, potentially, which is a lot of teams and a lot of characters that could potentially utilize that, because Hydra was a strong enabling element. And it's also relevant for characters that they're releasing, like Linny, who has built-in mechanics to drain their own health multiple times. It's relevant for any teams like Yao Yao, potentially, although because Yao Yao has these multiple tick healing things. This is a very relevant artifact set that I think any account is going to want to have at least a decent set of. So, yeah. Is that it from this? Mega. Oh, this is events. Oh yeah, the new screen. Nice little change. I like it. It's a nice little flavor thing. It makes it look much less generic and adds a lot of personality and gives like value to having a bunch of characters just by like seeing their animations. It still has the load-in time, like when you press the button to go to team swap, it still has that annoying ass load-in time, which is awful, especially when they keep on doing things like, and they keep on making it worse, where like you need different elements in Overworld to do things in Overworld, and then they fucking make it so now there's even a new thing where you need Numia or Ogia for Overworld things too now, so now you're gonna have to not only switch to specific elements, but you're gonna have to switch to specific Fontaine characters with specific attack alignments to be able to do fucking puzzles in Overworld. Ugh, awful, especially with the stupid time to switch between characters. Awful. Absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. But it looks nice, that's cool. I appreciate it. It's cool. The animation work that went into it. And even the ones that they like were reusing some idle animations but changing it up a little bit don't seem like lazily done. Like it seems like a clear amount of effort has been put into it, and I really like it. So, multi-layer map, good change. Why the F did they not think that was not necessary for Sumeru? It blows my mind with how much underground stuff they did there, but they did it. So good, you know, kudos where kudos need be. And yeah. Is that it? I think that's it. I can't leave this screen. How do I leave this screen? Well, I think that might be it. I might be forgetting something. I don't know. 4.0 looks interesting. The underwater. I already mentioned the underwater. All right, close this. The music is gone and I feel empty inside. It's weird. Oh, here's my stream dashboard. Whoops. Blam. Apparently I have nobody watching right now, but that's fine. Alright. Now I'm just going to do Star Barrel before... No, mail! Oh my god, mail. Oh, yeah, more, because I just did that. Yeah, derp. So, anyways. Yarp. Hello, Enterblink. 4.0 genuinely looks good. Is it going to shake up things like 3.0 did with Dendro? No. Like, Dendro completely reinvigorated my interest in this game. And made me very much appreciate its design of combat level. Before Dendro was like... It was not bad, to be clear, but Dendro made this game so much more interesting, in my opinion. So, yeah. That's all it comes down to. And 4.0 is not going to reach those heights, I think. They've not done anything for combat, like, at all, meaningfully. In fact, they seem to be doing actively negative things as far as... Numian Osea is concerned, you know, which, yay. But we'll see, and the artifacts at least look fun, and I'm gonna be able to do fun new builds on my characters because of those artifacts existing, so I very much at least like that. And then the exploration is, we'll see. I don't do as much exploration in the game as I did in the past, and I don't, because it feels overly tedious and time-wasting most of the time to me. The dopamine isn't there for me anymore with exploration because it just feels like I don't get enough for the time I spend on it most of the time. Past like the initial little bits of exploration, right? Like trying to explore more of Yashiori Island after I'm at, or Kanazuka after I'm at 68, 83%. Feels like I'm spending so much time for so little, right? So, I don't know. Oh, and we'll see what the story is like, of course. I have the bar for their story quality has raised with Sumeru, so I hope it's good. But we'll see. Alright, let's do Space Train for a little bit, and then that's the stream. I'm launching the game first before I guess I'll put up... Whoops. Oh, it's full screen. Oh, crap. Give me a second. Alright. Alright, is this gonna just work? It did. Okay, good. Why does it look washed out? It looks washed out on the preview. I'm gonna log in quick because it's just frozen. It's just frozen. What's happening? It's just frozen for me. Oh, there we go. Okay. I gotta log out of Genshin quick though, and I gotta on full screen Space Train. Give me a second because I can't see chat right now. That's why. That's the problem. I should have specified that for context. Since you do not share my eyeballs, I need to provide context. Alright, close Genshin. And settings, graphics, full screen. No, not full screen. I just lowered the resolution without changing the full screen. Okay, Space Train. Oops, it just went black. I'm dumb. I forgot to put the turtle up. There we go. Yoink. There we go. Fixed. Everyone gets a new pose in the team set up, and Alhaitham just can't be bothered. I mean, that's just how Alhaitham do. Do you expect anything else? Why is there a thing here when there's nothing here? Thanks, game. Alright then. All the da-da-da, assignments, claim, blam, blam. Oh, that took a weirdly long time to pop up. Oh, my internet seems to be having a stroke. Yeah, I'm so sad that the AV one is just kind of jank because it looks so good, but it just the stream doesn't function. Ugh. All right. Yeah. So I don't know, what am I gonna do in space train? I guess nothing that meaningful. This is not gonna last that long for those that someone wanted to see me do something specific in Star Rail. All right. Good. Destroy 3 destructible objects. I don't know if I can handle that. I'm gonna do that quick. But yeah, so this is Bronya. I don't know if you saw my Space Trade video. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I did that video for a video I was on vacation because my other videos I had planned, for long story short, motivation reasons and cutting my finger reasons making it so I couldn't record the video I wanted to record. I was just like, you know what, F it. I'm like 60 wishes away from the choice selector. I'm just gonna spend a fucking $100 and get my Bronya. And another big reason I did that, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video, was like getting Bronya means I have something to focus on. Like I still have like a lot of traces and a lot of characters I gotta like level up and focus on. So I have like so many characters that are like 80% built, I'd say. That I think I'm gonna skip. I was originally planning to pull for Dan Heng. I think I'm gonna skip Dan Heng. And I might pull for Jing Neo next, but it should give me plenty of time to just focus on leveling up the things I want to level up, and like maxing out the characters I want to max out. Like I want to fully max out QQ. I like her that much. She's just fantastic, but it's obviously going to take a little bit of work to get the traces up. This one, this talent is barely worth enhancing, but I'm still going to do this one too. You got a lot of comments for selecting Gepard. Yeah, I don't care. One thing I didn't mention, like my account, I do not regret. I do not regret having used Bronya properly now with QQ. My logic of being able to, you know, do more skills with this on a bare minimum level, right? This is, you can use more skills to buff your DPS more often, right? By having E1 Bronya. I have actually greatly appreciated having that in sometimes. Now it's a little bit RNG because sometimes it's just like, all right, Bronya, please refund the skill. And then it doesn't refund the skill and I'm just like, ah. So, but it's just like, I don't, the team is already based on RNG gamble lady. And so like the flavor of adding another RNG element, it's like, it's fine. It's just funny. I quite enjoy it. The other reason I don't want Gepard, other than just my accidental hate towards, or not accidental, my semi-hate towards shielders in Mahoyo games. No, I don't really have a hate for shielders in this game, but my, I guess, main reason is, this is stupid, but part of the reason I've been playing Star Rail 800 milliseconds, by the way. Part of the reason I've been playing Star Rail at all still is because my friend Brett, the one I mentioned he was in Vancouver with me, is playing Star Rail still and enjoying it, right? His main like standard 5-star he's been using is Gepard. He got Gepard first from the beginner banner, and then he got an early Gepard on standard banner. He's gotten an early on standard banner. I've freaking like 300 plus summons in, by the way. I've not gotten freaking early on standard banner bullshit. Anyways, he uses Gepard. He has a C1 Gepard and he uses Gepard. And he's a weirdo with these games. He's like, he doesn't like using characters that his friends are using. So if I start using Gepard, it legitimately might demotivate him from like playing the game more. And I don't want to accidentally do that just by using Gepard. So I got E1 Bronya, and I do not regret E1 Bronya. I'm quite enjoying E1 Bronya. So yeah, I don't care. And Gepard is boring to me, as I said in the video. Like, it's my account. I can do whatever I want, and I don't regret it. So deal with it. that's my point. Yeah, Gepard's Lycone earlier. I think that's one of the better, like, if not best, 5-star Lycones on standard banner. So yeah. Anyways, Gamba, we didn't get our point back. Whoops. But it's fine because we have this. Oh, okay. One question. I don't know. It's not gonna. QQ has a stupid energy cost, like 140. That's not gonna refill. Whoops. At first, when I glanced at it, I was like, I'm gonna refill her burst. It didn't refill her burst, but hey, it doesn't matter. All right. And did. Hey, a nice 122,000 damage. It seems decent, you know. 122,000. I can't complain that much. I'm still building Blade. I admit, I tried Blade, by the way, in this team, so I swapped Bronya for Blade in this team during the event, whatever the combat event was, and I'm not gonna pull her blade because I don't need another character build, and I also don't know to what extent the buffs were like affecting my perception of blade, but blade was actually pretty fun in this team with QQ. It was QQ, blade, Tingyun, Locha, right? So I don't know, tempted, but no. I have enough to get to a 5-star right now, I believe, but I'm not going to. I think the next one I wish is either going to be when Tingyun's on a banner, because I have E5 Tingyun and I want E6. And then I will wish maybe for Jingliu or something. I might wish for Fu Xuan's banner as well for Lynx, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, may as well do this for the damage buff. Yeah, the E1 Bronya, just the main thing, it just lets me so more liberally just... And I have Bronya's light cone too, right? So it lets me so more liberally just use Bronya's skill to have the damage percent bonus. Like when it... Right, Bronya, I get like a 50% damage bonus from just using her skill or something, right? And then I also get a 30% damage bonus because I have her light cone that I got from the first stupid fucking video I did. And as an 80% damage bonus, I usually really want to use her skill. It's a meaningful downgrade to like QQ's damage if I don't use her skill, right? Even if I'm not getting advantage from like advancing the action. So, alright, there we go. And they're all gonna die. So, let's see, 189,000 is okay. Anyways, point is like, yeah, it's nice. I like having E1 Bronny in this team. I do not regret it literally at all. If I get Gepard eventually, cool. If I never get him, whatever, I'll deal with it. It's fine. Yeah, let's see. This is I think full, or we don't have the crit damage buff up. So this is no crit damage buff, and we don't have the damage percent buff from Tingyun either. So this is not going to be maximum damage. Let's see. That was much less than I expected. That's, yeah. See, that's what happens when we don't have the crit damage buff. But anyways, now we got to... I don't have many skill points to use, so normally I would prefer to... I also like Bronya in this team because like the nuance of having to manage like when you want to like balance your skill points. I need to use Tingyun's skill again. Normally I would because QQ was so far down in the queue. QQ was so far down in the queue. It would make sense to use Bronya's skill here, but even if I get the refunded skill point, I'm only going to be able to use QQ's skill twice, so it doesn't really make sense to do. Because she's probably not going to be able to get her enhanced attack, so I'm just going to basic. But normally in this situation, if I didn't have to like use other characters' skills like Tingyun's, whatever, I would prefer to use Bronya there to get an extra turn functionally out of QQ out of nowhere. It's definitely relevant in many situations. So using is Bronya's signature Lycan good for Tingyun? Because that's what I'm using on Tingyun. Yeah, it is, but you only get the damage percent buff every 3 turns or whatever, right? Because you only get the damage percent buff that Bronya's Lycan gives when you use Tingyun's skill on an ally every 3rd turns, because you only do it every 3rd turns because her buff lasts that long, right? So Bronya takes more advantage over Lycan than Tingyun, but it's still definitely, I think, a very good option for her. I used it for a while in Tingyun and quite liked it. The only reason I'm not using it now is because I have Bronya. Go figure. Ooh, this is awkward too, actually, because somehow Bronya got ahead of Tingyun in the queue. I actually don't know how that happened. Normally, I have less speed than Tingyun. I might need to give Tingyun more speed to make sure she always stays in front of Bronya, but I thought I already had more. Anyways, I don't know. It's fine. Let's just... I'm just gonna shoot again. It's fine. I'm gonna take a slow turn. Especially fine because we didn't get much damage there. Or didn't get much skill usage. By the way, I did some calcs with QQ. Because QQ gets so many, like, particularly in this team, right? I get like 80% damage buffs from her. I can get like 40% damage buffs from her. And then QQ's own kit, her light cone gives a whack ton of damage percent bonuses. And then her own kit, when you use her skill, gives like 40% damage bonus every time you use her skill, up to 4 times max. And like, so I did some calcs, which was annoying to do. Of different circumstances of like how many skills I use versus having Tingyun's buff up versus having Bronya's buff up, etc., and trying to think about which situations are most likely. To figure out, the most important thing I wanted to figure out was for my relics. I didn't do this for like generic recommendations. For my relics, is there a situation where one, I wanted to check, is there a situation where quantum sphere versus attack sphere, where attack sphere beats a quantum sphere as far as damage, or is quantum always better? And if attack sphere does have the ability to be better, and the reason that like attack sphere can beat quantum sphere in the situation of damage percent buffs is because quantum damage bonus is damage percent, and you can reach, relative to other stats you have on your character for how damage is calculated, right? You can reach diminishing returns when you have a whack ton of damage percent bonus. You need a ton of it. But I figured out the breakpoint for my situation for QQ. And the answer is, generally speaking, based on how much I played QQ and like how often I see her have, you know, certain amounts of her skills used versus depending on the situation and how much normally quantum sphere is definitely going to be better. I think on average, I am pretty confident of that. Oh no, I did that wrong. Okay, whatever. But with 3 skill usages, or well, it depends on the combination of if I have Tengyun's alt burst up. But you know, let's see if we can get a. Oh, you got too lucky. Okay, we didn't get we got too lucky there, and she got autarky, which is good, but did not get. We did not get the alt I wanted. Or we did not get. I have a stroke. The number of skills I wanted. Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna do this. So kill the doggos. And now let's see how much we get. Single target. But yeah, in this situation, basically where I have Tengyun's alt up, I have Bronya's skill buff up on her, and I have like 2 stacks of skill usage. This is actually the breakpoint where an attack percent sphere was almost exactly the same as a quantum sphere. So if I had gotten 3 skill usages, an attack percent sphere actually would have been better. And the reason I was checking this, by the way, is because I got a double crit attack percent sphere on the relic set during the planar ornament drop thing. That could be relevant depending on how it rolls, but yeah. So I don't have a good rope yet though, so it's not worth considering. We'll see though. Is Himiko's light cone good for Xingchui? I would definitely recommend the battle pass if you can afford 1 battle pass to get 1 copy of the battle pass, but Himiko's light cone is probably fine just from the base stats it gives, I imagine. I have it. I can go double check what it does. And it's particularly maybe better in a team that's more like, say you have like Lynx in the future, the quantum healer, and you have, I don't know, I use Scylla and QQ together, right? If you're doing a very quantum heavy team, or you have Silver Wolf or whatever, if you have a very quantum heavy team and you're doing a lot of break, I imagine as long as you're doing a lot of break, especially with Silver Wolf who can give quantum weakness. What am I doing, by the way? You probably can get a lot of value out of him.
You chose the wrong enemy.
I did not realize QQ did not get healed automatically to fall. Locha, what are you doing? Usually Locha does his job pretty well. That's relatively rare. Oh, Christ almighty. Jesus. Usually Locha does his job well, but yeah, anyways, QQ Himiko's light cone. What does it do exactly? So every enemy on the field increases wearer's attack by 9%, right? So this is variable, but it does give a meaningful amount of attack that's not irrelevant. Again, and it has very high base attack stats, right? So it's a meaningful amount of damage potentially. But then the most important thing is, you know, when an enemy is inflicted with weakness break, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 30% for 1 turn. So if you're doing something like, I'd say particularly, I don't have Silver Wolf and QQ, but I'd say particularly Silver Wolf and QQ together, I imagine that could be a very good option for her over other options. And I don't know if it'd be better than this weapon, because this weapon at Superposition 1, I believe, gives like, it was 25% or 30% if you do the math, right? Because she has a very high energy cost. She has a 140 energy cost, and this gives you 0.25 damage increase of point whatever percent per cost of energy, and it converts to a quite high flat damage percent increase that you always have, right? So when you have, actually no, it's very simple. So right now right? I'm getting about a 30% damage increase always. Himiko's Light Cone gives you a 30% damage increase only when you weakness break. But if you have a team that's fairly quantum heavy, and you could like theoretically do, I imagine, 3 quantum, especially with Lynx coming out here fairly easily, like Silver Wolf, shoot QQ, and then Lynx, with this Light Cone, especially if you factor in the higher base stats and the attack percent that it can give, if you're pretty consistently able to get this without an insane amount of effort, I imagine this is actually a very strong option. But the 100% uptime of this is also still definitely relevant over it, so, you know, Himiko's Light Now is not great, but there is definitely contests where you can make it work. It certainly isn't a bad option, I would say, even if it's not, like, the best passive in the world. Alright, let's try not to die this time. Alright. I swear this team normally beats this boss fine. I farmed a lot of this. I have farmed a lot of this relic set. I'll show my relics. We should not. Okay.
I'll see you off.
Choose my strike.
I got sick of Locha, by the way, getting controlled by buttholes in Simulated Universe. Like, I have 30%, so I put the new relics, the new effect res relics on him, where he gives like additional crit damage to the team when he's over 30% effect res. But then he was still getting like controlled. So, and even with his like 70% passive to resist crowd control debuffs or whatever, and then I was just annoyed. So basically, point being, all right, let's do this. All right, and hopefully refund my. Yeah, we got the skill back. Sweet. And now we do this. Do it again. Oh crap. Okay. That's unlucky. We got autarky, but we're not gonna have AOE, so I guess we're gonna do this. It's unfortunate. I probably should have saved Bronya's burst for the next round here, but oh well. Oh, I didn't use the burst. Oh god, brain. Oh god, brain. Good job, brain. Okay, can you stop being buttholes?
You'll pay for this.
Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Do this. Kill the doggos. At this point, we're just gonna save things. Die, please. One dude's still alive, but fine, I suppose. Thank you for the auto heal. And we can do this. Yeah, this relic domain is annoying to farm. Oh, I think I was saying something before I got distracted, but oh well. And we're just gonna auto attack to heal a little bit. Bro, why did that ping to just QQ 40 times? Jesus fucking Christ. I don't want her to die again, so you know what? Just do this. This. Good, we got that back. Hey, there we go. Now we got autarky, you're dead. Good. Alright. Surely we won't die, we have full health, right? Alright. Alright, do this. I use Brunya's ult once, so I'm not gonna... The annoying thing about Brunya's Light Cone giving a skill point, it only gives you a skill point every other burst you use, I think. Which is annoying as shit. So I'm not gonna get a skill point back, which means I probably shouldn't use her skill right now. Probably. But Gamba. Yeah. Oh, I should have used her ult first. Whoops. It's fine. We're gonna do this first. Yeah, didn't get a skill point. Sad. Use this. That's fine. So we do this. We only have 1 damage percent bonus from QQ's skill, but it's fine. Alright, and whack. This is actually the most awkward thing, by the way, of having QQ leveled up, is that this, right, so Locha would have auto heal QQ there if she went below 50% health. She keeps on going right over 50% health and not getting healed automatically. It's so freaking annoying in this context with this team. Ugh. And we're just... Oh, we don't have the thing up here. It's fine. He's not gonna one-shot QQ. There we go. Thanks, dude. Alright. Butthole. Remove your stupid buff. Okay. Do the Gambas. Please? Yeah, okay. Nice. Decent damage. Okay. Here I definitely should not, but I'm gonna do it again. Oh, yep, punished. I mean, I knew that was the incorrect decision, but I wanted to do it anyways, okay? It's fine, because we can do this. QQ does more damage than my Seela? Yeah, she does. To be clear, I haven't tried my better relics that I put my better pieces. Really? I put my better pieces on my QQ. I imagine if used right, especially with Bronya, Seela might still perform meaningfully better. More consistently at the very least. But it's so much more satisfying to get big damage on QQ over Seela. That's for dang sure. We don't need to buff. Yeah, you're dead. Okay. Yay, healing please. Yeah, that's what I mean by healing please. Cool, thanks game. That's, yeah. Alright, actually, you know what? I will take that because QQ can use that. So yeah, I have farmed a whole lot of these relics. One, because I need all of the speed substats for the likes of Bronya. And then I also have this set on Tingyun for now. Or not for now, just probably forever. And then... The effect can't be stat, by the way, so in the situation where I use Bronya's ult and Tingyun's ult in the same turn, it's not ideal necessarily. I'm not taking full advantage of the 4-piece set, but it's fine. Especially because that doesn't always happen. You don't always use those in the same turn, like I was using there. And then I also have Bailu on this, which I do have 4-star speed boots at least for her, so... I've gotten relatively lucky with speed boots, but I've had to salvage a lot of stuff for trying to get speed boots. I got both of these speed boots from the synthesizer. So... Anyways, Tingyun, theoretically that's an upgrade for Tingyun, although... Do I really... I don't know. What is this? It has Def, it has flat attack, crit rate, crit damage on a 4-line. I lose 1 effect res line, which doesn't probably matter that much, but effect res is also kind of nice. So I don't know. You know what? Screw it. It's crit. Tingyun does a lot of auto attacks, is fine. I'm going to take it. We're going to feed this in. This also makes her slightly less tanky, which is not preferable necessarily, but you know what? It's fine. Annoyingly, I still don't have an outgoing healing boost piece in this set for Bailu, which is so stupid. Kelvin. Hello Takumi. What was I doing? Oh yeah, duh. Hence. We're just going to throw away the old one. Maybe shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. All crit, please. Hey, you know what? It did mostly crit. I'm not going to complain. There we go. We got technically an upgrade for Tingyun. Technically. I mean, not that Tingyun needs that many crit stats, but it's not bad. So, I mean, tank substats are honestly probably better for Tingyun than anything. But you know what? I like dealing damage with Tingyun's auto attack, so I'll take it. I need to finish leveling up her... Well, both of her pieces. Alright, let's see. Let's just farm more of this, I guess. What more do I have to do, by the way? Blam, blam. Enter combat attacking an enemy's weakness and inflict weakness break 5 times. We'll do that while farming this. Alright. I'm going to do 2 more of these. I'm going to do trace farming. Forgot the word. Damn.
You'll pay for this.
You'll pay for this. Alright, let's... We're not going to get our ult back, so don't do that.
Wait for the times.
Gamba. 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 Hey, we got out turkey. Let's do this boy. Yeah, good. The reason I did that is because if you kill the enemy, if you have autarky, that's... well, you can't see it right now because it went away, but that's her QQ when you use her skill when you have her E4 has a 25% chance to do that follow-up attack. If you kill the enemy with your first attack, you do not get the follow-up attack, which is why I was purposely choosing the one that I thought was not going to die. Now we can do this. I'm not going to use her ult. I am going to use her ult. Yeah. Slightly awkward. I have auto target, but I'm not really gonna be able to take advantage of it. I don't think. Either way, I'm leaving something behind, right? So, like, whatever. Can you be less butthole? Kill you. I'll deploy the field when the monkey comes out. Schmick.
Choose your strike. Speak on.
Yay. Alright.
Eternal sleep.
Oh, do you not have the buff up yet? Oh, I did that wrong then. Whatever. It's fine. Ooh, I have to... Skill points. Yay. I'm just gonna take a turn where I don't have Tingyun's buff up. Got Autarky, nice. I could use Tingyun's burst now, but I'm not going to. For the sake of trying to get more damage next turn. Alright. That dude's gonna die from break. You're gonna schmack me. It's fine. Okay, you did more than 50% health. Thank you. Alright. Now, let's go. I don't think... Oh, unfortunately, we're not gonna get Bronya's ult up. But that's fine, I suppose. Oh, wait. Shoot. We don't have... I want to get Tingyun's buff up, so I'm just gonna play it slow, I guess. Oh, god dang it. You got too lucky. I didn't want that. I need to use my skill more times. Alright, I guess we're just playing slow again. I don't want to use her ult. It seems like a waste. Schmack. Oh, my gambler. Probably would have been able to heal through it with auto attacks, but I didn't want to risk it. Okay, can we do this? Yeah, we got it back. Good. Alright. Alright, now we can do what I want to do. Do this. And gamble. Gamble. Oh, unfortunate. Really wanted an autarky. Oh, I did that wrong. No! Frick. Whoops, I meant to use ult first. Whatever. It probably won't matter in the context of farming this. No autarky, unfortunately. He would have died if I had autarky. Sad. Sad. Butthole. Why didn't you auto heal, bro? It probably has been. Oh, I used his skill this turn. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to let her die. That would be annoying. Just doing it basic because honestly, we're gonna do this. This is smarter. Well, less smart now that she got too lucky again, but you know it's fine. He's dead anyways. Doesn't matter. Cool. Actually, is this relevant? It's on the HP set. I guess this might be relevant. And cool. This has effect res. I'm actually gonna keep it. The reason effect res is relevant now is because one, getting controlled is fucking annoying. Two, I didn't even finish talking about it. So yeah, I switched Locha's Lycone from like an energy generating one to this one to give him more effect res and more healing based on effect res. So now he has his like 70% crowd control debuff resistance, and he has like 60% effect resistance stats. So that way I can be extra really annoyed when he gets crowd controlled by something. Anyways, the whatever the new relic set is this set, right? Increases effect res by 10%, which is just nice for reducing characters' chances to be annoying from enemies, and then of course increases crit damage. And the crit damage, I'd say, is better, generally speaking, than the attack, you know, that you give allies almost always. So yeah. One more. This is maybe the slowest I've ever farmed this domain, by the way. I'm sorry. I blame my brain when streaming for it. Talking too much. Gamba. Yeah, we got our skill back. Uh-oh, turkey. Hey, and we got the... Yeah, okay. Let's do this again. And you are gonna dead. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this again. Didn't get the skill point back. Oh well. It's fine, because we don't need it. I lied. We do need it. Okay, let's just do this. Wham. Alright. We only have one skill point. No. So we just do that. Well. Let's see. Do this. And give her the auto heal. Let's do this now. One skill point, huh? You know I want to. I'm not going to.
I'll see you off.
Especially because I could use the heal right now for auto-attacking with Locha's ability. Butthole. Okay. Now we can truly Gamba. Alt. Buff. Alright, QQ, if you get really unlucky, I might be able to one-shot this boy. No, that's not really unlucky, god damn it. Oh, that's fine, I guess. What a waste of a Bronya ult. Got like no advantage from it. Locha, do you ever auto... Oh no, he just healed Tingyun last turn. Never mind. It's fine. Should be fine. I won't murder my healer. Yeah, you can attack my healer. That's fine. Just don't kill him, please. What? Yeah, heal yourself. Thank you. Do this. Oh, I should have waited until he had a buff up. Oh well. Okay, now let's see if we can get some magic going. Didn't get the skill point back. Should be fine. Alright, good. Twice. Good. 3 times. Got out turkey. Okay, that's fine. So we can do this. Nice 120k. And then we can do this. More damage for QQ. No Bronya skill buff up this time, I don't think. But a lot of damage here. Nice 66k. Ah, only 53. Only 100,000 damage single target. It's not great, unfortunately.
You chose the wrong enemy.
One thing I really like about Bronya in this team, by the way, is the dynamic of, like, when I have spare skill points, when, like, QQ gets lucky and I match tiles without having to get a bunch of, like, skill buffs up, and then I have spare skill points, I can use Bronya's skill, give QQ another turn, and then use the remaining skill points that I wasn't able to use before. That happens a lot. I haven't seen it in this instance right now, but, like, right now I wouldn't normally use it, but I can, because why not? She'll match it, I believe. Oh, doesn't matter, but... Vectraz, huh? Maybe. Okay, sure. Alright then. Nothing special for relics today. Beyond. He's not bad. Okay, I really need to finish leveling up relics on all these characters. QQ's level that's really finished. Well, Sila's artifacts are level 2, but anyways, your gloves don't really matter that much. I actually don't really need to level Bronias anymore. I think Loach is the priority for me leveling pieces. Just, probably just the speed boots first, and then, it's boring, I know, it's boring, I know. But I'm gonna do this first. I don't even think I have enough. Because it takes 3 days worth of fodder to level one piece from level fucking 12 to 15. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Why? Why did they balance it like this? God, I fucking hate it. I substantially dislike relics more than artifacts in Genshin. It has... The strongbox system is substantially better than Genshin. The synthesizing, it's way better. It helps a lot. Particularly for the necessity of like speed boots or energy ropes. But it's also extraordinarily annoying in other ways, so mostly in that there's no off-piece, so like the biggest rough thing about no off-piece, right, means like situations like I farmed a whole bunch of this set, right? And hey, I think these are potential attack ropes on the crit set that I need for QQ if I want to have her on her ideal set eventually. That's good. And then, but guess what? While I was farming for this set, the game trolled the living fuck out of me and gave me not 1, but 2 attack percent ropes that are double crit 4-line. Like, where's the other one? Did I level one of them up? I had 2. Oh, one of them's on Jing Yuan for some reason. Yeah, so like effect res, break effect, crit rate, crit damage, like disgusting. Like really? Game? Really? Right? Like really? F yourself. And like that feels so shit because like there's like no hope I'm ever gonna be able to use that on QQ, right? Because I need the 20% damage bonus that you get from this set, right? So like getting fucked by getting a good one, the stats you want in the wrong set feels so shitty. And it's happened enough now that I'm just like, yeah. At first I said it wasn't much of a problem, I think, in Star Rail because, what am I doing? Because of the nature of having the strongbox system, which does help a lot, but it doesn't change that it feels really shit that you get something like that, and I'm just like, cool. I got a potential god tier DPS piece on the support set. Fuck you, MiHoYo. Why would they do that? Like, and it wouldn't be a problem if like that remodeling resin, right? If the remodeling resin was something like, you can keep this artifact stats but change it to a different artifact type. Suddenly that's not a problem to have no off piece, right? If we get 2 of those per patch, where I could, if we had, okay, brain, you need to go teleport. If we had 2 of that thing per patch, the self remodeling resin, right? To be able to let us take the pieces like that I got, where I got trolled, and fucking RNG bullshit gave me 2 fucking double crit 4-line pieces, in the set that I did not want instead of the other one. Oh, well, you can use the self-modeling resin to convert this to the other one? That'd be fucking really smart. That'd be really smart. And then it gets rid of the not having an off-piece issue, right? But it just feels so shitty to get lucky in that way and it be fucking useless, right? Because at least in Genshin, when that happens, it's still a potentially useful artifact, even on the character you're farming for, if you happen to be able to have an onset piece, right? Like happened today when we were farming in Genshin, we got an onset goblet. Now suddenly I can use an HP timepiece on Candace like I wanted. Wow, what a world, right? Like, so, yeah. We're just gonna autoplay. Fuck it, I don't even care. Let's see what autoplay does. Autoplay is just gonna use alt right away. Alright, sure, that's fine, I guess. You're gonna use alt right away again. That's not exactly smart, game. Autoplay is very bad at very bad at playing QQ. Not that it matters for trace farming, but anyways. I digress. Point is, relics are fucking worse. Both because there's no like XP doubling. It just feels it takes so much longer to max level relics in this game versus Genshin, and then having no obvious just really sucks. I originally thought it wasn't that bad, and yes, the synthesis thing helps, but it's just miserable. Getting lucky, but then not being actually lucky. Chat not refreshed. I think my chat might have broke. No, it didn't. Okay, people being chill. I mean, I figured I lost most of my viewers after I switched to Star Rail. It usually happens. So. I'm not playing. I'm probably not making another edited Star Rail video again. By the way, I think the video I posted while I was on vacation was my last attempt. I figured if people weren't gonna watch something stupid like me being like, look, the thumbnail could have been better. I'm not saying I couldn't make good Star Rail content. It's just like I don't feel like spending my time on it. It's the game's too annoying to make content for. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a dedicated QQ video instead of trying to bait people into watching a QQ video again. But like with a more proper thumbnail around QQ herself. But like, if fucking spending $100 on for standard banner only got 3,000 views, the fuck do I care? Like, why motivate myself to making content for it? I'm enjoying the game enough to keep playing it, but I also still think, like I said earlier in the stream, I think Star Rail might be better experience like 3 years from now. So I don't know how long Star was gonna hold my attention. Is my point. It's not a bad game, but. Yeah. It's too hard. It's not as much anywhere close to as much of a sandbox as Genshin is for creating content in combat or otherwise, and therefore it's just like it feels like it's not worth my time, and it doesn't seem to perform as well for me, at least. Again, I haven't really seriously tried that much to try to like turn my channel to also be Star Rail content, so it's not that unexpected, but it just doesn't seem like it's worth my time to bother. And the only reason I even made that video again was because I wanted a very lazy video. So, yeah. I fell down the YouTube rabbit holes of guides for characters. Don't have to play more about them. Yeah, I mean, okay, the problem with a guide is like in these kinds of accounts is like it depends like what you have in your account. And I don't think I've ever been great at evaluating, trying to be like, hey, yeah, you can use this character in this, like, particularly for Star Rail. Like, I went and got E1 fucking Bronya. My experience for QQ is heavily tinted by having, you know, an invested QQ, a Lotra with her, and a Bronya now, and like saying that, like, trying to make a guide based on my expectations for QQ is a bit silly, especially with how not easy she is to build, and like also I have E6, right? Like, so I didn't really try to use her before E6, right? So I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna level up this light cone. Reason I'm leveling up this light cone, by the way, is just because Ting Yun's buff is actually based on her attack, right? So I want to make sure I have the light cone leveled up so I have all the base stats she needs. I think that's the last light cone I'm leveling up for a while, because now I'm going to focus on actual character trace abilities rather than light cones or anything. Just spelled dedicated 5-star supports for the 4-star. I mean, that's what I did with Bronya. That was the whole point. That was the point of the video. It wasn't a lie. That's why I wanted it. I wanted Bronya because Bronya is good, yes, in general, but I also wanted Bronya for QQ specifically. Because when I was using QQ without Bronya, I noticed I was having this issue of like, I sometimes have skill points and sometimes don't have skill points. That would probably mesh well with the Bronya. And I was right. It does. It feels great. And it feels great to have like that decision-making process in Star Rail of having to figure out when I want to do that and when I want to optimally do things, accounting for the statistical chances for certain things to happen. It's fun. I really, really like this team. It's the most I've enjoyed the combat in Star Rail is using this team. So, but I don't know. I don't know what other 5-star I'd want for QQ at this point though. Like I mean, if there's a Harmony character to replace Ting Yun that also refunds energy, but I also really like Ting Yun, so I mean that's blasphemy as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, Yarp. Would like to level this more. I have so many relics I need to level. Like my focus, I think, is just going to keep on farming relics and a little bit of traces every day. It's really boring, so that I can slowly level up, finish leveling up Ting Yun's artifacts, finish leveling up Loach's artifacts. Main reason is just like I want to finish leveling up her headpiece so she's a little bit more tanky, right? I want to finish leveling up Bronya's artifacts too, but like this is not super relevant. Like the crit damage could be okay, but not super relevant. This is slightly relevant, but not super relevant again. So finish my Ting Yun's artifacts, get her last little bit of HP and attack percent, and then finish Locha, get his last little bit of speed and healing bonus and attack percent going and tankiness. But like these fucking 4 pieces that on Locha is going to take fucking 2 weeks of relic farming, assuming I don't get any other relics I want to upgrade it. And then I also have like that attack percent sphere I got to level up that I mentioned before. So anyways, all these things are just going to take fucking forever. And like I want to get QQ completely maxed out. I want to get Ting Yun skill and ult maxed out. This is actually worth leveling up a little bit more too. So, and I want to get Bronya's ult at the very least maxed. Actually, no, probably both of them to level 8 at least, and then I'll see where I go from there. But probably want to get Bronya ult maxed out as eventually as well. Still got to get this trace. Yeah. I could have done this trace instead of doing Ting Yun's light cone. That actually might have been more meaningful, but it's fine. It's fine. My Bronny already has 140 crit damage. It's not going to be the craziest difference as far as her buff goes. So, anyways, alright, I think that's the stream unless anyone wants to see anything else specific. I don't have anything else to do in Star Rail today. So, I haven't done some of the companion quests because you might have noticed by the stream I was on vacation, so I haven't had time to do this anything. But I do want to do like the companion quests and some of these side missions, especially because they give relic material. Jesus Christ, that's the most valuable thing I can get from these right now. Oh my god, 10 lost fragments. So I could do lost hall, forgotten, whatever the fuck hall, but I think I'm gonna do that on my lonesome because it's easier for me to focus on it when I'm not having to talk. So when does this end? I can't tell when this ends. As you can see, I did floor 6, but floor 6 wasn't hard. Well, floor 6 was a little bit hard, but anything before floor 6 was not. So, and I have Bronya fully leveled now, so I think I actually might be able to get decently far in 12 hours. Ew, in Memory of Chaos. I would hope I can at least clear floor 8 now, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna do that. I haven't even finished the Lao Fu memory thing. The Lao Fu memory thing at level 4 was deceptively difficult. So. Oh yeah, because it's the fucking deer. Ugh. Ew. Yeah, no. Not doing that now. Not doing that now. And so you guys really want to see it. Hello?
Drats. No. I'm just nothing.
Motion
Standing
sickness.
in front of you is just a hologram.
Hello? The Express is about to warp jump.
Bye. You found your weakness. Moving. Every gamer's weakness. Oh god. Alright, well, chat is not saying they want to see anything, so bye. Thanks for watching. Lesson learned from my vacation is doing things with your friends in real life is actually fun. Who knew?